That's really upsetting.
From the man
I'm
who
never
pops.
hanging out with Dan on Halloween unless I'm absolutely wasted.
Seriously. Just completely blotto.
I like to think I'm fun even if you're not, but I'm just more fun that way.
Sure.
It's really funny because, like, I feel like if you took a snapshot of just how I act when we play D&D, or like when I'm like goofing around, it gives a very different impression than who I think I am. And maybe I'm horribly off on that too.
Go on.
But it's like funny because like even what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago when I was just like dumb hungover and like that was the last time I drank. Like that was actually the night after John's house.
Mm.
And it's like in between that and like those times, it's like I normally just like study nonstop and like that's it. That's all I'm doing.
You don't have to justify your alcoholism to us.
You have to justify it to me because I expected better of you.
Yeah, I feel like in college I probably had a drinking problem, but now I don't drink.
I think you could say technically most of us had a drinking problem in college.
Yeah, that's what the captain of my Quidditch team used to always say. She said it's not a problem until you graduate.
The fact that you started that with the captain of my Quidditch team used to say.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
So I'm curious, how do you see yourself?
You know, I think that I try my best to, like, so that's kind of my whole thing is that I really do want to always balance like being a kind of goofy and fun person with like genuine care, because I do try to have genuine care be kind of like the most important thing in life. And like I don't know, I like laughing and I like making people laugh because to me it's an expression of care, but often it can be interpreted by no fault of obviously the audience or the other person I'm speaking to, but can be interpreted as a certain like glibness that I'm like just kind of goofing off and like don't give a shit about other people's feelings, or like don't give a shit about like having meaningful interactions and stuff like that because I'm doing something fucking ridiculous.
Is that what you're doing right now, just to be clear, or is what you're saying actually sincere?
This is sincere, Cito.
Wow, Cito, yeah?
Oh no.
Hold on, is this a bit?
Right. See, so that's the genuine fucking problem, right? Because like,
Well, the balance is what he's saying versus how he looks.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys,
it
I'm
cancels each other
serious.
out.
What makes you think that this is a bit, Cito?
This is who I am.
Like your hair.
I cannot believe you. That's actually
Turn your fans on it. Angrily.
Martin bit. He used to like throughout the course of his act like put more shit on his head and like all this like crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden he would pause and go, "But I'd like to be serious with you for a moment, folks."
So great.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. Is that like I maybe I get too goofy, and as long as you guys can feel like I'm in some way, shape, or form like reliable as a friend, then that matters more to me than like fucking around. Just as a heads up.
Your reliability as a friend has never been questioned from my standpoint.
You're
reliability as a general human being, sus. But outside of that,
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
I'm just still throwing some maps into the overlay because despite having 2 days off from work, still under prepped.
I know this is gonna maybe be a bummer, and maybe you guys already heard, but did you hear Sean Connery died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was in Jersey. So.
I mean, he had so much life left to live.
At least 8
At
more
90.
years.
If not more. Yeah, I was reading his obituary in Variety, and they were like going through it, and I guess it's the way that they framed it, but they went through basically his entire career of like, here's how he got like into it, and then these were his biggest things that he was known for, and then they went and they listed like a bunch of his failures, and I was like, okay, so basically the biggest, success obviously was James Bond, but in my mind, he was like much more successful than the way that the article, read it. So I feel like in general, like popular culture, he was a success, right? But like critically speaking,
Yeah.
he wasn't really, and like he wasn't in as many popular films as I thought he would have been for as popular an actor as I perceived him to be.
You're totally right. Like thinking about it, he was more of like he was just a pop culture icon because of his voice and his accent and all that shit and like just his reputation. But like obviously he was in some great movies. Like even the bad movies he was in, the flops were still like top tier flops, right? Like A-list flops.
Finding Forrester.
Right.
Zardos.
Extraordinary gentlemen.
Yeah, sure is.
Nice combination.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, the Highlander movies were not like they were bashed critically, right? Weren't they?
Well,
just
they were
absolutely
super popular internationally, but not obviously in America, and I think that's
yeah.
Yeah, it's just he had such a he won an Oscar, right? For
Untouchables.
for Untouchables. But then like he's in The Rock and Entrapment and Indiana Jones and like all these other movies, but in my mind he was in more like substantial films.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't. Anyway, it was interesting.
Yeah, what a weird take for Variety. Power move for sure.
Yeah. But then there was like a little blurb at the bottom about like his actual life, which I thought was kind of like, that's too bad. Like I'm sure he did more in his life than just, be an icon or whatever. Maybe he didn't, but yeah. From the mean streets of Edinburgh. They said he was literally born in a slum in Scotland. And
Was that just
like
another one of their digs?
had
So
no
yeah,
education.
here's his failures of this slum-born piece of shit.
Yeah, what did Sean Connery do to the editors of Variety?
Honestly, it was super shady. Like they were throwing shade.
Was the caption just "old piece of shit finally dies"?
Well, that's it.
Sean Connery.
Picture of Sean Connery.
Subtitle: Who cares?
Subtitle: Finally.
There was no picture of Sean Connery. It was just a picture of Catherine Zeta-Jones from Entrapment.
So was he still
Sean-
married to her when
Sean
he passed
Connery,
away?
parentheses, not pictured, finally died.
What, Seb?
So, was he still married to Catherine Zeta-Jones? They divorced like a long time ago, and I didn't get that notice in the mail or something.
They're never married.
I don't think they were married.
They were never married.
Mi-
Weren't they dating
Michael
for like
Douglas.
You're thinking about Michael
Michael Douglas, some other old fucking dude that that was way too
Hollywood
old.
Real.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's married to Michael Douglas?
Oh, not
That's a
anymore.
real story.
Yeah, in that article, it was a picture of Michael Douglas, and it said Sean Connery, not pictured. It finally died.
Yeah, is that how we find out Michael Douglas is an editor of Variety?
every article is just a picture of him, and then it's like any article about anybody is just not pictured, and it's his own picture that he posted that he likes of himself, and then an article from his perspective.
It's
To
like,
be fair,
that's
he
like
looks
Oprah
great,
magazine.
And we're the first ones to crack the case. No one has noticed for years. Variety has been subverted by Michael Douglas.
It took Banana banana hands, tiny fans,
Canned ham.
tiny cans.
Banana hand, tiny. Oh, fuck.
God,
Banana
God,
hand,
fuck
tiny
it up.
fan,
You had it
can't
so
say it.
well.
Yep, normal ham.
I'm
There's
gonna.
nothing weird going on with this ham. I want to make that clear.
Okay, I am ready to rock and roll when you guys are ready to rock and roll.
Hey, you guys want to play some D&D?
Yeah, let me take this off.
It's kind of late. I don't know.
Okay, so do we want to clap in before everything and then I'll start streaming?
Start
Yeah, I
recording.
mean, I already started. I hit stream like 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Wait, really?
That's great. Okay,
I wanted to get some of
let's
the-
do
I
it.
wanted to
Let's
get
do
some of the-
a
some
quick
of the good
clap
in
in.
Okay.
Start with Cito. Do it, buddy. Such. I gotta see your hands.
Let me see the hands.
Okay. Bex. Dan. Sebastian. Art.
I scared the shit
Okay.
out of my cat. By the
Wait,
way.
fuck. Audacity. Of course, I didn't open up Audacity.
wait. Oh, I didn't start recording yet either.
Ah, yes. Should probably do that
I love
too.
it. I love it. Fuck, we're so good at this.
How many times have we done this? Cito gets a pass, but you other.
Only the second time for me.
Good lord.
I have as much fun fucking
so
this
sorry.
up as I do playing this game. It's always a good time.
So I'm recording now.
All right.
Okay, so is everybody recording now?
Hold on. Look
Should have
at it.
asked that first.
We do need stuff for the blooper reel, so it's fine.
This
Uh,
whole thing's a
too bad
fucking
it's not
for real.
recorded.
Yeah, the entirety of
All right.
Alright.
like 600 hours of bloopers.
I am now, and 4 hours of content.
Yeah.
Now I'm recording.
All right, I'm recording now.
Okay, Cito. Such. Sebastian. Bex. Dan. Me. Okay. And we are beginning our stream.
Doing great.
So, last time we were playing, you guys had after a bar fight at the drop, the group of you had ended up drying out in a jail cell where you had met a gentleman by the name of Tritus Red Fang, who seemingly was some kind of degenerate gambler and was in prison for the drying out pens for his own reasons. Had conscripted you guys into helping him find his son, who he had gambled in order to acquire a deed, of which he lost the hand, thus losing the deed and his son, and was hoping that you guys would drive out to the desert, give him a hand, perhaps getting back his kid. And he offered a couple of different things. He offered to commission a Spellbreaker shield, or at least speak to some people who could commission that for you. He also offered about 4,000 gold, and he offered 2 blueprints for burner wands. A burner wand of magic missiles and a burner wand of fireball, both of which Evie took some interest in so that she could possibly, reverse engineer them back into their components so that she could learn how they tick. And the goal, I think, would be a bit of use to everybody. So, after you had acquired transportation, an old Blackstone scrapper, barely held together with spare parts, you guys had pushed onward out into the wasteland. You traveled just about over an hour so far, moving through the wasteland, soft, shifting sands that blow across the wasteland. You are in a wide, open space. And as you push forward now, you can start to see the landscape opening out in front of you, and in the distance, a series of small, low hills that rise into greater crags that are sandblasted and scoured by the heat. And further back, you can see what looks like a range of dark clouds that seem to hug that part of the landscape.
As we continue on, I guess if Chuck is, whether he's awake or not, I'll just put his pepper box down, and I will begin to attune to my cube of force and swap that out for the gauntlets of ogre power. Just
Okay.
as we continue moving, just kind of just shifting things out, swapping things out.
You, from the gauntlets that you wore that were sort of slapdash molded together, you pull out a handful of components and then retrofit this cube of force into a new piece of technology. Switching over the infusion, right?
Yeah, just the attunement, yeah.
Cool. As you guys are heading forward, go ahead and make a group perception check. And Cito, hold off on your perception check for now.
14 from me.
5.
You're driving, so you don't need to be very perceptive.
21.
22.
You guys begin to hear something over the din of the constant rumbling of that Blackstone engine, and it is loud. It basically drowns out most sound within the scrapper itself. But those of you on the outside seats, you begin to see something kind of worming its way through the sand alongside you, tracing your wake almost the way dolphins would chase a ship. And you don't see anything rising above the sand except for a small, thin, little spike. And it's tearing through the sand, and then you start to see poofs of sand burst into the air, and these creatures spiraling out. And they almost look like a cross between a horseshoe crab and a stingray. They're long and flat, with tails that trail behind them that end in barbs. And as they kind of fly through the air, catching the wind, they dive back into the sand and keep tracing the Blackstone scrapper as it passes through the wasteland. And for the next,
Can I make a history check to see if these creatures are aggressive, or like what I know about them to see if they're a threat?
You can make a nature check.
Or a nature?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 14.
14. You haven't heard anybody being attacked by one before. They usually follow behind. They're kind of scavengers. You assume they probably eat some kind of like carrion or.
I can't hear your audio anymore.
Yeah,
Your audio just cut out for us.
Yeah, it did.
Right in the middle of the sentence. For anybody viewing my stream, give us a moment. This is par for the course with technology. So. Boo.
The joys of remote D&D.
Yeah.
Okay. Better.
There we go.
Yeah, you're.
Said unplug it, plug it back in. That seemed to work.
Try unplugging it and plugging it back in.
If I'm too hot for you guys, by the way, let me know, and I'll change.
So,
No,
you'll put a paper bag
I'll
over
put
your
a paper
face.
bag over my head. No,
It's like buff Adam Scott.
Oh man.
So you were describing our creatures, the creatures.
Yeah.
They eat carrion.
Yeah, they eat carrion, and they're most likely following you guys because they're hoping you'll drop something. And as they burst from the sand, you can see on their underside are rows of scrabbling legs like cilia that seem to push them through the sand, and they're sort of wildly scrabbling at the air as they pass through. Their wide fanned heads allowing them to soar into the air as they then cut back down into the sand again. And
Do I have any spare food stuff that I could just kind of like toss?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just feeding them.
You start throwing it out of the side of the scrapper, almost like you're chumming the water, and immediately they all go back down into the sand, and you can see them like a swarm of piranhas almost, just coalescing around that area that you dropped it. As you guys continue to speed away, they are now behind you guys by a good 50, 60, 70 feet the further you get away. And then after a time, another 5 or 6 minutes of you guys pushing forward, they start popping up out of the ground again and sort of tracing along the sides of your scrapper as it moves through the wasteland.
I'll just turn to Chuck real quick and say, so what is it that you wanted me to do with your weapon?
I don't know if I got necessarily anything directly in mind. Maybe if you could make it more accurate, more ammo, more...
Better?
I don't know, just better. It's a common gun, so made a little bit fancy with some je ne sais quoi accoutrements, but if you got any way that you might be able to improve it, I'd be much obliged.
Yes, it seems to me that what makes it special is you. Am I not correct?
I don't know if quite me per se, but you know, somebody that I at one point knew allowed me to do some things with this gun that might not be normal for this world.
Why are you making that face? You do not need to be ashamed of this. This is quite fascinating to me, in fact.
Oh, if I can be quite honest with you, ma'am, I'm quite ashamed of it. I made a mistake in giving myself or making a deal for these powers, and kind of got to deal with that.
Sure. What may I ask is the deal that you made?
Well, I can shoot really fast and shoot really well, and in return, eternal damnation.
Well, that seems like not a great deal to me, but
I was young once.
Sure. Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack there. I just need to know if you can shoot fast and straight and all of that. I'm going to need specifically what you would like done with this. So you think about it and maybe get back to me, and I will see what I can do.
I think if it could be anything, just I know you can make +1 bullets if you can figure out how to work some of those mechanics into the gun.
Well, you know I did not make all those bullets for the goblin actual +1s.
Oh, I know that, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure, because I do not know if you picked up on that or not. But that was pretty great, by the way, and I appreciate your help with that.
Of course.
Perhaps we can do that more in the future.
I think we got the start of a wonderful partnership together here, ma'am.
Yeah, as long as we both keep our word about things.
40
Yep.
miles away, there's just 2 goblins, and one of them's like, "You idiot! What have you done? 100 gold?" It's you guys you ride for about another 45 minutes, about an hour and a half away from the Cult of Mizet hideout that you guys have gotten some directions to. When not far off the left of the scrapper as it's driving through the wasteland, you guys see a dark form on the landscape, about the size of a large creature, huddled down in the ground, half buried in the sand. A plume of smoke seemingly rising from the back of it, and it's hard to see from this distance, but it looks like there's a figure next to it, kind of giving giving a wave, attempting to hail you.
Hey, Guardian, pull over. We gotta see what he's doing.
Guardian.
I'm not getting out, and I'll just yell. I'll yell from the car. Hey, what do you need?
Hi. I perhaps you could maybe give me a hand with this. I'm not really good with machines, and maybe you seem to be driving one. Perhaps you can just go take a look. I think I might have done something to the back. You can see there's like
What does
a
this person look like?
He appears to be human. He's on the leaner side. He's wearing travel robes, which denotes him as most likely somebody of an arcane, of some kind of arcane discipline. He's got what almost looks like a messenger bag slung across his side. That then disappears into his robes.
Well, maybe you could help us. We're out here looking for a cult of what is it?
Nizit.
A cult of Nizit, and wondering if you might know their location.
Well, not too far from here. I think the more to the north. I'm actually coming from the east. Different directions, not too keen on getting caught up in all their business. But do you happen to have any tools to fix this, or I can sort of point you in the right direction, and just kind of points off to the side, basically where you guys were heading anyway, and you can see the dark storm clouds gathering on the horizon. And it's like, it's it's kind of hard to miss. They're very much into their whole lightning and storms and stuff like that, and so you can kind of take a look. You're pretty close. Maybe another hour's ride or so.
What seems to be the problem with his? What was he on, or what's the machine behind him?
It appears to be a scrapper, similar to yours. A bit more kit bashed together. It's a lot of the pieces have been re-welded and reformed and reforged, and it's not looking like it's in the hottest condition. Additionally, from the back, make a machine handling check if you're taking a look at it.
8. Jesus Christ.
2 big holes in the back of this thing, and they are gently wafting smoke.
Does it look like the holes came from the inside or the outside?
Make an investigation check. The 2 smartest people.
Is the does it look like it came from the same shop that we got ours from?
It actually does.
Okay.
21.
21. It looks like it came from the outside. It's blasted inward, and you, being fairly familiar with weaponry and guns
And being shot.
these look like substantial
dying.
bullet holes.
I'm going to just light the cigarette and lean up against our scrambler and watch what's happening.
You know, I sort of got in a bit of an argument with a friend. They tried to rip me off, and well, I had to get away with my life, and they were not happy about that, and so they shot at me. They ruined my ride, and now I'm stranded. So, perhaps if you have spare parts or maybe just a bit of technical know-how to get me moving again, I'd greatly appreciate that. Oh, we haven't actually been introduced. Dantes Gerard. I'm a bit of an archaeologist of sorts, like to find things in the wasteland and whatnot.
Sorry, did you say oncologist?
Not another one of these guys.
He just kind of gives you a look like, what? He's not really quite sure what that is.
What is your specialty?
Well, mostly I like to. I'm looking for certain spells that reduce the effects of time. I am doing a bit of research on it now, and I just recently had a breakthrough in some things that I found. And hopefully, once I have time to uncover the notes and sort of rewrite them in my own hand, then maybe I'll have a bit more information for you. Hopefully, it's something substantial. All the notes that I've had up to this point have sort of led me in this direction. So it certainly hope so. Otherwise, a lot of
Yes. Okay, what do you mean by reduce the effects of time?
Well,
Do you mean live forever, or do you mean manipulate time?
No, not like I'm not like on death or anything, but just reduce the effects, or perhaps even slow them, or create stasis. It's a version of transmutation, but we don't have a lot of that, unfortunately, in Marn, and I was hoping to maybe get a bit more information to take back to the colleges there and secure my own tenure, and of course in further my own research.
Well, it appears to me that the sooner we can fix his bike, the sooner we can move on. And I'll move over to his his vehicle and take a look.
Make a machine handling check, or Arcana, whichever is higher for you.
I will assist.
Okay.
Ooh. 17.
17. It's fixable. You're actually able to rewire a couple of things from the inside, weld a couple of the pipes and tools so that it creates a stopgap until he gets back to town. Hopefully he bought the insurance on this rental. Otherwise he's not getting that money back.
This should get you back to town.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really can't thank you enough. And look, if you see my friend out there, her name is Char. She's really a nice lady, and I really hope that she's okay and not too hurt. She just has a bit of a temper, and we had a bit of a disagreement. So just let her know. Perhaps if she make sure she's okay, and if she's okay, to just make sure let her know that no hard feelings, and hopefully I never see her again. So, take care. I'm going to get going.
Well,
Bye.
wait. Before you go, where can we find you? Because this research that you're working on is mighty interesting, and there might be some funds available to you back in Bastion should you choose to move your research there. Maybe get you set up in a nice lab, something fancy.
Well, that's actually not a bad idea. Well, look, I'll be heading back to Bastion as soon as I can, and I'll most likely be booking passage as quickly as possible to get back to the mainland. I won't be staying in Bastion too long, but if you happen to make it back sort of around the same time that I do, maybe a day or two behind, I can wait for you. I can wait up to 3 or 4 days, and if you're not back by then, I continue on to Marn and finish my research there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'll go. Regardless, we'll try to make it back on time. I don't know how long we're working a job right now for the big man over there, and I'll motion towards Guardian. But, regardless of where you go, just give... Anytime you see a CC's Trading Company logo, make sure to just let that person know that where you're going, and that I'm looking for you. My name's Chuck.
He shakes your hand. Chuck. All right, okay.
And yours? Again? Sorry.
Dantes Gerard.
Dantes. Yeah, Dantes Gerard. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll see you back in Bastion, and time is of the essence, I guess.
It always is.
As they're talking, as I was working, I want to be sort of scoping out his vehicle to see if there's anything of value or interest that's left inside the vehicle. That's
Make an investigation check.
25.
You can see there's actually a second pack on the passenger seat. It looks pretty well worn. There looks to be some components and things in it. There appears to be a beautiful pair of boots that are along with the pack, and it looks like the pack has rations, change of clothes, some camping gear, a bit of money.
I would like to take the are you talking about magical components or like parks components?
Actually, interestingly enough, both. You can see sprigs of what might be used for spell components, and then also you find a set of tinker's tools in there too. It looks like this pack belonged to somebody who was magically inclined, magically and mechanically inclined.
I will take the boots and put them in my bag of holding as payment for my services.
Just the boots?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You take the boots and kind of slide them into, and let's make a stealth check. See how stealthy you are over there. Actually, if you're stealing, you can do sleight of hand. Yeah.
Okay. 16.
16's just over his passive. As you sort of are working, you give a stretch, boots bag, walk away.
They're just like fine boots, right? Like just like really nicely made.
They look like
as far as I know.
tailored cowboy boots. They rise just below the knee. They're gorgeously adorned. They're sort of inlaid and everything, and they have small decorative spurs on the back, but they don't necessarily look functional. It doesn't look like the person who owned them was actually a rider. More.
Okay.
Did I see her take them?
Make a perception. What's your past perception?
16.
Then yeah, you would have seen her. But I mean, you would have seen her up to some sort of fuckery, like in the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
As soon as I take them, I will head back to the scrambler very nonchalantly.
Okay. Well,
I walk up next to her as she's walking.
I saw you up to something there.
Yes, I fixing that man's machine there. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, after that, that's. Would you?
You know, you are quite observant. You can see things that are right in front of your face. That is very impressive.
You can hear the scrambler over there start up. Starts belching black smoke. The sound of the engine is loud, like just the deep growl of some mechanical beast.
Alrighty, John Tees. Happy trails.
Thanks again. If I see you in Bastion, we'll talk more about all my research. You can barely hear him over the sound of the engine. Just. Well, take care. And it pulls off as a rooster tail spray of soft sand as it finally catches and then lurches forward back towards the drop to the south.
Walk back to the car.
Hop in. Guardian's in the driver's seat. You guys ready to roll?
Do I sense any weird tension between Quinn and...
Make an insight check.
Yeah. $20, not natural.
Yeah, there's some weirdness going on between the two of them.
I'm just going to turn around and look at both of them for a little bit before we start driving.
You guys don't say anything?
Evie, you got an extra cigarette?
No, but she's got some extra boots.
What does that mean?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
About 30 minutes goes by.
Now I'm inclined to worry about it.
Of course, Charles, I have cigarettes for you always.
Thanks, friend. And what's Quinn talking about with these boots?
I'll light it for him, but the middle finger's pointed in Quinn's direction.
The mechanical arm shoots out. The middle finger flares up with a lighter right in Quinn's face, towards Quinn's face. About 30 minutes pass as you guys are rambling through the wasteland. It's beginning to get rockier in this region as you move into the foothills. Additionally, you can also see more and more choke root as whatever tiny bit of moisture in this area is allowing a little bit of plant life to grow. None of the thick grasses you saw closer to the train tracks, none of the weird rambling tall mushroom structures you'd seen either, or any of those what looked like termite mounds in this region. It's still mostly flat with the addition of some rocks and some scrub. It's about 30 minutes in that you begin to see a figure in the shade of a tall sideways rock that looks like it had smashed and landed into the ground, creating an impact crater in the wasteland. You can just barely see them as the stark sunlight is creating this high contrast glare.
Goodness.
Woof! Where you can see basically a swath of black shadow with a silhouette poking up from the darkness.
How far away are they?
About 300 feet.
Okay. So with the gilded gazers on, I dial it in so that I can get a better look at what they are.
Looks to be a humanoid with a tall collared jacket. She has a female, short red hair, goggles on her head. Make a perception check to get a little more information.
Horrible perception check.
Only a 30?
14.
14. That's about all you gather from how far away you are. Maybe once you guys get closer, you might be able to get more information. But from her posture, it looks like she might have been sitting there for a while. It's kind of like slumped a little bit.
I immediately shoot to kill.
Okay.
Kidding.
Roll the hit. Cito, what's your AC?
Wouldn't be the first time.
God.
It doesn't take you long to
Really
make
going in guns blazing there, pal.
Oh, callback humor.
Doesn't take you guys long to reach the rock. The rock is actually Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You guys reach him pretty quickly.
Finally.
He's in everything.
You reach you reach the boulder outcropping
Final boss.
and pull off to the side where you see this figure begin to stand. Cito, would you like to introduce your character?
I waved them over, and I asked them if they saw this scrolly little bastard who seems to be running off in a hurry.
Oh, we have not seen anyone, have we?
No, that's not a soul. Not a soul. You're the first person in hours.
Well, it's
Well,
pretty
except
bad.
except for that one guy. Do you guys forget him? He was over on the side of the road. We saw him like an hour back. It really wasn't that long ago. You remember? He had the broken car. We fixed it.
I just look at Chuck like he's totally crazy.
Dennis or something, right?
Dantes.
Charles, was this a
That
dream
don't
that you
sound
had? You
right.
did sleep quite a while back in the
Yeah, I mean,
on the trip.
just- he woke
I
up from
remember
that
a
nap
weird name
recently.
like dentist.
Dentist.
Is that what you said? His name was Dentist?
I thought you said
Dentist.
oncologist.
This guy was an archaeologist or oncologist.
One of the two. It's definitely one of the two.
Both of them dig for things. They're the same.
Yeah, one of you, please give me a straight answer. I'm looking for I guess you can call him a former client. He hit me over the head, knocked me out cold, and absconded with a bunch of my stuff. Ran off in the direction that you came from. So and wasn't too long ago. So should have come your way.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn and see if anybody else is reacting to this information. I'll roll for insight for myself.
Yeah. Insight check yourself. See how well you're
22. Yeah, I can pick up what's happening. And I'll turn back around.
What
We
does this
haven't
person
seen
steal
him.
from you?
I don't know who you're talking about. Your audio cut out again,
I think
Seti.
you cut out again, Sebastian.
Technical difficulties, friends. Hang in there whilst our DM rejiggers his audio.
Don't hang in there. I'd actually prefer if you didn't hang in there.
Oh.
Okay. So make a what is your passive insight on your character sheet?
Cedo?
Cedo.
Oh,
Char. You should be able to find
Passive
that in
insight.
there's a group on the left side under
Yeah,
your
yeah.
attributes and stuff.
12.
12. And what did you roll for deception there, Chuck?
Oh, 7.
Accurate.
You're like, yeah, we didn't see anybody, and you wink, but you accidentally wink at Char. Like, kind of got turned around there for a minute. You forgot who you were trying to fool.
Sorry, just a little bit of sand in my eye.
Well, I don't know what you're playing at here, but if it's all the same to you, if you're headed back towards town, I'd love to hitch a ride if that's possible.
We are not.
Can I go with you anyway? Stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm not walking.
Oh, you're not going back to town? I guess I'll just stay here and die then.
I mean,
Better than staying here in the
eventually
desert.
we're going back to town at some point.
How, after your recent concussion, you any good at fighting? We got some cultists to kill, a kid to rescue, and coordinates to abscond with.
From what I can observe of this person, can I intuit that she is also an artificer, like a mechanically inclined being? Like, does she seem
Make an arcana
Like-
check.
yeah? 20, not natural.
You can see on each hip, she carries a low slung, what looks like a combination between, like it's part wood, part metal. It's got a wide cylinder on it, not like any gun that you've ever seen. It's inscribed with runes all down the barrel. It's a beautiful piece of work. You're thinking she's most likely some kind of artificer, or mage, perhaps a sorcerer. Hard to say. But with the weapon she's carrying, most likely an artificer.
What did you say your name is?
Sure.
Char.
Like
Now,
Char.
Char, how did you come across this this beautiful weapon of yours?
That was I built it actually. It's from my time in the old back when I was learning the arcane arts in my hometown.
And where is that?
City of Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Does that ring a bell to me?
Interestingly enough, it does not. You haven't heard of a town called Waterdeep.
Sure.
Without the T, Dan.
What?
Short.
Boo.
Well, here is my question to you then. Can you fight?
If there's coin involved, sure.
Can you fight if it means your survival of getting out of this desert?
Well, for the moment, I think that our paths are aligned. So yeah, I can do that.
I'll just turn and look at my companions and see what they think about that.
Sure.
Do we?
I mean, Folly's
even
End has
have
always been
room?
one for growth, so
Guardian, you're pretty sure you could squeeze her in to maybe the top, basically the high seat in the back of the buggy where the ballista would be on the chuck wagon. There looks like it wouldn't be comfortable, but there's enough room up there for two.
Are there handles on the sides? I remember on the chuck wagon we could have people kind of hanging from the outside.
I
Yeah.
think we added those
We modded
afterwards,
that,
though.
That
Oh,
you guys
okay.
had modified that. Yeah.
modification.
Afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could also clip in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
there's
cool.
carabiners and shit on it.
Could I take some fabric or cloth or something like that and jerry rig like a jump seat of sorts somewhere to hang from inside or anywhere for her to have a seat in the place, or would she just need to crouch down and squeeze in?
Make a machine handling check if you want to try to kit bash together a jump seat for her.
While she's doing that,
Kit bash, yeah.
what did this dentist fella steal from you?
My favorite pair of boots, actually.
Oh yeah, what was so special about those boots?
They were from my family, actually, and they about yay high, black. If you saw this guy, he probably had them with him.
Wait, the boots were about yay high? That's
I-
like, that sounds like you're talking about stilts, ma'am.
What was your roll? Your machine handling roll, Evie?
To be clear, I do not want to make this thing. I just want to know if I could.
Okay.
It was a 27.
Fairly easily. You see a couple of connection points, and you can modify some connection points if you need to, just to create the jump seat.
All right, good to know.
Well, there's no way.
Well, you look. There's some space in the back, next to Quinn, and you can maybe share his seat with him.
I'll hang on to it then, even if there's no seat.
Okay, so you're gonna hang off the side.
Sure.
I turn to Evie and then just turn back and offer the seat. I just a knowing look. I don't say anything about the boots.
I stare right back at him.
Apparently, Dennis stole some boots, guys.
Boots, huh?
All right. Well, listen. We should probably take off and get to where we're going because the time is passing quickly, and I do not want to get there without some light to help us. Char, let's go.
Char.
Oh.
What did you think
The
it was?
T is silent.
He's silent.
Gotcha.
You guys hop back in the scrambler and pack in. Quinn, you find yourself on the side connecting a rope in a similar fashion as you had before to create a makeshift type of jump seat. I need you to make a survival check with advantage since you've done this before. Just to make sure that you've got the ropes taut, the knots secure from the rope that you're carrying.
Oh yeah, no problem. 24.
Yeah, easy enough.
Would you roll 2?
Natural one. So you tie in, you create a harness for yourself that you can actually still keep your bow free just in case anything happens. You feel fairly secure that it won't break as you guys are moving further into the wasteland. Luckily for you, you don't have far to go. It's about another 45 minutes or so when you start to see the outskirts of this citadel that's been built. It is tall. Actually, it looks very similar to the art we have for this week. It's tall and square, jutting out of this mountain range that almost looks like it was naturally carved from, despite the fact that it is a different color from the surrounding landscape. It's got a sort of luster to it, like it may have been chiseled and sanded smooth by some sort of artifice, or maybe just elbow grease. All over the outside of the structure are black metal piping and struts and spires that rise into the air with a black storm cloud that seems to be constantly coalescing over the top. You guys are about half a mile from this structure, and it looms over the landscape, the tallest thing that you can see. As you park the scrambler on a dune to take a minute to recollect, you can see that despite the fact that it should only be mid-afternoon, the sky is growing dark, almost as if night is encroaching. And pulling from this massive spire is a river of pure black that reflects the cloudy sky. Across the landscape, you see points of light that seem to appear and almost blaze in an inferno and then dissipate into the ground.
Can I do a scan with the gazers?
Yes, go ahead and make your perception check. It is more than... you should have advantage on this.
Natural 20 for 26.
Okay. The things that you see coming up out of the ground, they almost look like their bodies are made from... Do you know what slag is?
Yeah.
It's like glass made from sand, where there's extreme heat or extreme... anytime sand is exposed to extreme heat, it creates like this black rock, sort of shiny...
Obsidian, almost,
Obsidian.
Right?
It appears like its body's made of that, and in a certain place it's molten. And as a lot of it becomes a sort of effervescent cloud off the back of it, as it begins to cool, it crumbles back down into the ground, where its liquid parts fuse again with the sand and rise again. They have an almost humanoid shape. And as the wind blows in this direction, as they hit the sand, you almost hear what sounds like an inhuman wail of a creature, and as it crashes into the ground and dissipates into the sand. There are multiples
I
of these
very
creatures.
eloquently explained everything just like you did to the rest of the party.
You guys know what slag is?
Yeah, like obsidian.
There's between 12 to 20 of these creatures well spaced out, not anywhere really near each other, and just sort of moving about listlessly without direction all around this citadel with these swirling black clouds around it.
How big are they?
For you, hard to get a gauge from Quinn's perspective. They're probably large sized creatures. So maybe around 10 feet tall.
Well, if we got the drop on them, do we want to try to pick them off from back here, or just drive in, shoot?
I'll take my rifle out.
All right, so that's one vote from back here.
Well, I mean, we could definitely get some surprise in if we do range attack from here.
Start turning on the gas for my...
All right, so that's 1.5 votes for back here. Well,
just to
Guardian,
give you guys...
did you wanna drive down there and run them over or anything?
If you guys are gonna shoot from here, I'll just have the car ready, just in case.
So if they come up the hill towards us, then we can.
Correct.
I mean, do we want to try and talk to them? I know that we had this whole thing, before the battle. at Bastion and everything, we used to try and talk to things before we tried to kill things. So I don't
I'm
know
going
if
to
you
start
want
zeroing in the site.
Now,
They don't notice that we're anywhere close, right? They don't hear the rumble of the engine or anything.
They're a good. I mean, they're anywhere between 600 feet to half a mile away.
Oh.
The closest one is like
okay,
600
okay.
feet away. They're pretty good distance.
okay.
They're kind of all over. They sort of pepper the landscape.
That's like 5 feet out of my range. So
Okay. All right.
I'll have to move up slightly. Seems like too much effort.
give me just a second. Let me move forward a couple of feet.
How
well-
far did you say? There.
The closest one is right around 600 feet away, and there's a few that are a little further than that. I mean, a bunch that are a little further than that.
Well, also, do they look like they're in pain? Could they be in some ways enslaved by the cultists?
Make a
Cultists, they love enslaving.
get off my keyboard, little kitty. Make an insight check. I guess you can kind of see them from this point. They're a fair distance away, but make an insight check. So the DC is going to be kind of high.
All right. I just get people. 17.
From this distance, they do look like they're in pain. The way they shamble and move, they do seem like they're at least their existence is tough to hold on to. Their form almost seems like it's tough to hold on to, and they appear to be only together for a moment and then collapse back down into the slag, into the sand.
I like to imagine Chuck finds some sort of symbolism in that.
See Chuck narrow his eyes and kind of wistfully looks away for a moment. So what
Do
you
they
guys
appear- Do they appear
I
to
think
be
we should try and
hostile?
move up as quietly as we can and maybe get the drop on these guys. Things. It's whatever they are.
What were you saying, Char? I agree with Quinn for the record.
But do we want to see if they're hostile first, though? We don't want to start shooting at things that aren't.
Right. I agree with Char.
Okay.
We can do both. Let's move up quietly. We'll see if they're hostile, and if they are, shooty, let's get them.
Shooty. Going for that booty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I normally say, but
Yeah.
in this context, there's not any booty to be got, Unless we're talking about proverbial booty. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. And
Are you guys moving
It's-
with? Are you guys taking the scrapper with you, or are you
I guess we
moving?
can't if we're gonna do it stealthily.
Or you're attempting to move stealthily?
pushing the scrapper.
I mean, you can try to coast it down the dune or something, but
Can we?
Yeah,
dress it
let's
up
go
as a giant
down
rock?
the dune. I mean, fuck it.
all right.
Let's get ready to pop the clutch, Guardian.
There's no keys. What if somebody steals it?
There's a key, right?
There's a
Vex, you're muted.
Vex, you're muted.
Are we at the top of a dune?
You're at the top of the dune.
So get it to rolling. You see, listen, it's called gravity, and we can go down this hill without
Artificers
turning on
can-
the engine. And you see, this is something you have brakes, but it will not cause any noise. So we can attempt to go in a little bit quieter, get a little bit closer, and then get out, and then we can try to sneak in. But I feel like we are still pretty far away.
Right. I agree with Evie, just in a less condescending way. I'll get out and push.
Okay, who all's pushing?
I'll push.
I'll push.
I will
Actually,
send-
I'll
Please see.
and I'll make
Everybody's
myself
pushing,
bigger.
and nobody's in it.
I
steer?
make myself bigger with the runes. I do the ka-ching.
I will steer.
I love this shit. And then I start pushing
You guys all see,
as a large creature.
you guys all see Quinn smash his bracers together. These runes flare, and then just grows to a large size, and it's like, "I'll take care of it." And just pushes.
Ever
to the back.
stealthy, Quinn.
What are the rest of you doing? Are other people helping push, or is it just going to be
Well, I
Quinn?
guess if he doesn't need help, then
But
No, it seems like you got it.
Who's
Seems you're
steering?
doing okay.
I'll sit next to Evie now.
Okay.
yes, I'll keep steering if he's
Alright.
gonna do that.
Okay.
I will just stick my head out the window and enjoy the ride.
Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage. Quinn.
Char, are you helping?
No, doesn't seem like it needs to.
21.
21.
Not natural.
Back slams into this thing. As you push, it begins to slowly kind of sink into the sand a bit and then begins to roll as the bladed wheels begin to catch and begin to push it downhill. Guardian, you drop it into what is basically this vehicle's version of neutral, where you disengage the engine from actually grabbing and it just begins to roll down the hill. Quinn, you run. Just make an acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics. Oh. $25.
You land on the back of this thing, kind of grabbing the back. The rear of it sinks down into the sand a bit and grabs and then begins to roll faster with the added weight. As it starts to move way too quickly down this sand dune without any sort of, without much control, I need you to make a machine handling check, Guardian. As you guys are now careening down this dune forward.
17.
17. As you were making your way down to the bottom of this hill, you can see that there's a large rock outcropping that sort of pushes into your field of vision, that you wrench the steering wheel that pulls you to the side, and as you do, you narrowly miss. It sort of skims past the side of Evie's head with her head out the window. This boulder just passes by your head. As you continue down this large dune, and this dune is like, think Sahara Desert size, where it continues. It's more like, if you were to look at it from a macro view, it's like giant rolling swells of an ocean storm. That's how big these sort of crests of these dunes are. And you were just rocketing down the one side, picking up more and more and more speed. As you're getting towards the midpoint, from the blackened sand beneath you, a form begins to emerge as it starts to grow up out. It is about 45 feet away from you, off to the left, as you guys are approaching. As it turns, and where the head is just a open pit with flaming red molten material that sort of drips from its face. As it just lets out and an arm raises up with a half-formed hand and tries to reach for you and attempt to grab the vehicle.
Hostile.
I'm going to bring my head back inside the vehicle immediately.
It is pretty big. Let's roll for initiative, guys.
I was wrong.
To the damn thing.
4.
Alright. Give me a second. I'm gonna get you guys all set up. Guys.
After using metal dice, these plastic dice feel so dinky.
I have noticed that. My encounter didn't save. That's weird. All right, Chuck, what is your initiative?
A mighty 14.
Guardian.
13.
Quinn. What you got, Quinn?
17.
Char.
4.
A mighty 4. Evie.
Jesus.
Yep.
13.
13.
This is horrible.
Ooh. Okay. Let me just pull a token for these guys real quick. Hang tight, if you can.
Hello, roll 20.
Somebody's here to drop something off. I will be right back. You guys can hang tight.
Hanging.
Yeah. We can reflect on our favorite moments thus far. All right, never mind. I'll see you guys later.
They're gone.
All right, that was good. Later, everybody. So,
Autumn, have I told?
while
Can
we're
I tell
taking
you
this-
something about this whole redeeming thing for the exposure bucks?
exposure on my on the
Twitch?
arts department?
Yeah. One day, I just want to spam like drink water, like so badly. Just
You
like
can, but you will reach the limit as there's a 4 redemption limit
for in what time period?
in one stream.
That's fucked up, dude.
Well, I mean, I don't want to continually drink water while I'm trying to draw.
What if you're hella thirsty, dude?
Then I drink water.
Wait. Sorry,
No,
what
you
was
don't
this?
get it.
Wait, so what you're saying is you want to waterboard me on stream?
I want yes. Thank you. Finally. Here's what that's exactly what I'm saying, Rick. If we start spamming, the more people you get, they have to like 20 do it like 20 minutes into the stream. Who is that very strong man?
I'm just like, I can't draw shit right now.
If we get like 10, 15 minutes into the stream and then everybody just uses their 4 things of like workout and water.
No, for the workout one, I have it set to 4 total, like across one stream. So I figure 120 push-ups in a stream. That's like I'm not gonna. I just get done and not be able to use my arms. It's just like, okay, well, I hope you guys like stick figures.
That would be more entertaining. I feel like that would be a more fun process of you trying to do art without your arms working. You're just like with a
I'm
stylus.
going to use my mouth now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. At one point, I will take off the limit, and I will, let you guys go nuts with your spamming of the use of the exposure bucks on the channel. Chat, you dick.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you with the sound of that delicious water.
So good. For anybody else in the D&D crew that doesn't know what the hell is going on, we're just apparently having fun with chat.
Your channel, gotcha.
Yeah. You should join in, Suchin.
I am. Hi.
Nice.
Who are the 6 other people?
Just other people. People
I'm one of
from
'em.
my wonderful community who hang out and watch me draw and participate in discussions. Martes, welcome back, buddy. Nice to have you here.
Good people on both sides, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's a great community. I'm happy about the way it's growing.
What's the name of your channel?
Twitch.tv/ARTurkel. ARTURKEL.
Hey, that's just
Much like
your
my
name.
last name.
Oh, hey, I know him. Isn't that Brett? Isn't that the guy?
Hey! Way to social distance there, buddy.
I wonder
You
if
got a
that's-
delivery of a Brett? That's weird.
No, what's that guy's name?
Dustin.
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 Guys, the whole bit about Chuck not remembering anybody's name isn't a bit.
That's just you. See, the thing about Dan is he just plays himself.
I play myself with a southern accent and the ability to cast spells, but otherwise it's pretty much spot on. Was that Dustin or was that another buff? I assume that, like, other than us, every single one of Sebastian's friends needs to be buff. like, Sebastian only hangs out with very nice, very buff
why don't
men.
we? Why aren't
Love
we
hard
buff?
pecs.
Oh,
Listen,
Goose, there's already been some
I'm not
wild
mad
things
at it,
going on.
Dan, to be honest with you.
No, listen, I'm sure.
There's got to be some perks to playing with an all-dude D&D group.
It's just the possibility of seeing very buff men in the background.
Hey, it pays
Mommy
off.
likes.
It works from time to time.
Wait, was that Dustin, Sebi?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Does he have blue eyes? Have I not noticed that this entire time?
I guess.
That was fucking
Never
random.
stared
Yeah,
long
that was
with
absolutely
long
fucking random.
I
Oh,
have
then
never
you
You
looked
noticed
at that
his
man's
eyes. I noticed that he just was like, "Why are all these people here?"
Sebastian's like, yes, and they've got little gold flecks in them.
And they're
They're
just
so
so
beautiful.
creamy.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen, I
Yeah,
can name the color of everybody in this group's eyes right now.
Go. Do it.
Okay. Suchin Brown, Sebastian Brown, Autumn, kind of like... Oh, fuck.
You got 2, 3 in.
Yeah, fucking
Shut
fail.
the fuck
Got
up,
him.
shut the fuck up.
Way to go, Dr. Weir.
Bex has like bluish, kind of gray green. Autumn, either fuck, dude. I'm between green or brown, but I feel like one of those is wrong.
They're actually both right.
Shit.
So you got it. You got it.
And Cito has brown eyes.
Sebastian, we have a special request from chat when you have a moment. They want to see Rescue Kitten.
Oh. He's behind the refrigerator right now. Because somebody came in and that's his hiding place. So he's right behind the fridge. But as soon as Rescue Kitten comes back, Rescue Kitten was like on the screen for a second. I don't know if you saw him earlier, but
I saw you pick him up like a second ago.
Yeah. He likes to dance on my keyboard and type all kinds of random shit to my peoples. So I have to make sure that I like pick him up and move him to other locations.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, we just rolled for initiative. Let's get to it.
Oh, you guys want
Bingo
to play some
bango.
D&D?
Yeah. I mean, we are here for the rolls.
Not for the lulls. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna go.
All right,
I
let's
have
go
to.
ahead and stop the stream. All right,
My
we're done.
mistake. Yeah, let's shut it all down. This is a mistake.
Should I use physical dice for these bad boys?
You should use metaphysical dice for these bad boys.
20. His eyes go black and he just says a number.
It's dope and scary.
Why do I hear his roll but his mouth doesn't move?
hey, you know those really pretty tokens that I made for this?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you. There it is. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Sorry guys, I'm not a professional. So friends, as you guys push into the wasteland aboard the Scrambler, you can see now that there are... Oh, this window ain't working. This is hard. You can see now that there are what appear to be 3. As they're rising up out of the ground, you're closer now. It sounds like shattering glass as they push up out of the ground. There is just this cascading grit and dirt that falls off of them in chunks. What did I say?
No, nothing.
All right. With that, as you guys are careening down this hill, you are actually moving at 60 feet around in this direction. This one is going to move its full movement towards you.
Are we using Roll20 right now?
Yes.
I don't see anything on
Yeah,
my
I see
side.
It's not moving here.
I've still got the art.
How's
There
about
we
me?
go.
How's about me out?
Hey, there we go.
I switched it for
Perfect.
myself. I didn't switch it for you guys.
Bold.
I see a black or a gray screen, gray square.
That is probably my favorite, is when people can't see anything.
The classic one. It always happens.
Quinn, I love how yours is just fucking big boy.
You should be able to see now.
I can, thank you.
And you should be able to see now Char as well.
Yep, gotcha.
So wait, does Quinn have to use his whole movement to move like 30 feet behind everybody? Because if we're going 60 feet in one direction and he can only go 30 feet?
He's attached. He's
I'm
Oh,
hanging
he's
on.
attached now.
He's
Yeah,
attached.
I'm on the back,
Oh,
weighing you down, slowing you down, as the case may be.
Okay.
Now I just want to make sure that you can now control this character in this token in the back with your character on it, right, Andrew? Just try to move him back. Select her and try to. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, great. So this creature just bursts up out of the ground. There's this inhuman wail coming from the front of it, not from the head necessarily, almost emanating from its entire body, as its molten core splashes down, hardening into black chunks of slag as it moves closer to you guys. These fucking arrows are going nuts. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It's going to dash. 5, 10, 15, 20. It just... its legs moving, and as they collide with the sand, it blackens the sand beneath them, and then more of that magma bursts out of the front of them and becomes even further locomotion as it hardens, sticking into the ground, becoming another leg, as it moves forward, just trying to get to you as quickly as possible.
sorry, I was laughing at hardens and becomes
And
another
becomes
leg.
another leg.
All right.
Its third leg.
We're adults.
What's the stream rated?
Mature.
NC-17.
I better. I gotta
We're
put it
good.
to immature at this point.
Well, it looks like that's the second thing to harden and become a third. Because I'm ready. Let's
Oh
go.
boy. Here we go.
Another arrow to use. Great.
Whoa. You rolled pretty high.
Oh, this is looking.
Oh dear.
Good
We're
lord.
going out.
So,
boys
question-
and girls, yeah.
We're still moving, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna move. You're automatically gonna move 60 feet on your turn, unless you don't want to drive forward anymore. That is.
It's up to Guardian, I
Up
guess.
to Guardian.
Maybe we can run them down.
Totally a possibility. But they use all of their movement to get into attacking range for you with you. Quinn, you are first up.
I'm hanging on to the back.
You're hanging onto the back with both hands.
Yeah. There's shit. Bonus action. Mark the one directly in front of us.
That's wrong. Okay.
And then I bust out the blade of broken mirrors and
what?
fling it at the thing.
Okay. Go ahead, roll the hit. As you pull that blade forth, you're like, how long have I had this thing? And as you let go of it and throw it, you can hear you hear a sudden silence in your mind as you let go of the blade, and it just flips through the air into the beast.
21.
That hits.
Okay, that's only 6 damage.
It goes down. So it just disappears inside the creature, almost swallowing it up, and then more of that blackened slag kind of forms over top of it, and then becomes molten again. And the dagger is now trapped basically inside this creature as it continues trying to move forward and slam into the front of the vehicle.
Actually, it returns to my hand.
Does it return immediately?
Yeah.
Perfect. So it just bursts out. There's a burst of that slag and magma. As it returns to your hand, it is fucking hot.
I actually do an additional 6. I forgot because of my size. So.
Okay.
It is hot.
Okay. Is that your second attack? Right.
Yeah. Is that creature? How's it looking?
Hard to tell with its form. It looks angry.
Okay, then I'm just gonna take another throw at it.
Okay.
Natural 20 for 28.
Yeah.
Ew.
So that's. Let's do this fast.
You guys just see this blade just whipping overhead as it catches the light. There is almost a prism of color that dances off of it, despite the fact that the blade itself is a chunk of jagged darkness as it flips through the air.
13 additional damage. Oh wait, it was damaged. Hold on. One more roll.
What's the extra?
18 damage total on that one.
Got it.
Sorry, I'm not used to using dagger.
That's fine. Chuck, you were up next.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take a shot at the one right in front of me. Us. Thank you. Alrighty. I'm gonna do sharpshooter actually.
Okay.
I'll roll on the box. Oh, mamma mia! Natural 20.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
I'm
Hold
glad
on.
I did not use a physical die. So it's 15. It's 25.
25 total damage.
Yep.
Is that with your? Oh yeah, because the sharpshooter. You fire through, and it leaves a giant cavernous hole in the center of its chest as its entire body goes from black and red to just cold black stone, and begins to collapse forward on the vehicle as the vehicle's passing through it. Just a torrent of boulders crash into the front of the vehicle, in through the front, down onto the seat, all over Guardian.
And then I'm gonna do a bonus action of banishing smite, and then take my second shot.
Cool.
At I'll do the one in the front.
Awesome.
Sharpshooter as well.
Okay.
And that is a mighty natural one.
Oh, fuck.
I'm what you call a min-maxer.
Roll to see if you misfire.
I do not.
Okay.
It's a 14 to hit. Oh no, it's a 9. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
You see Chuck pop up, close one eye, blast off this resounding shot as it turns one of these creatures to just inactive glass that then falls on top of the vehicle. As you guys blast through that, the next one moves, and then he pulls the gun down and immediately begins to fix it.
I'm gonna turn around and go, "What? You get the idea." And then...
Evie, you see him stand up, take that shot, take a second shot, attempt to fix his misfire. What are you doing?
I will pull out my massive bat wrench and turn the handle a little bit and fire a firebolt into the next closest one to us.
Okay. Rolls a hit.
And I will roll to hit. Natural 20!
Hey.
Plus 8.
Nice.
So, you're going to take... you roll the damage die twice, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, did we all just get natural 20s?
Yeah.
So far, everybody has rolled a natural 20.
Damn.
48 points of damage.
Nice.
Fire.
Jeez.
You
That's a cantrip.
Yep.
blast through the firebolt from that wrench bat thing hits it directly in the chest, and it immediately turns bright molten red and then grows to twice its size.
Oh shit.
What did you do?
And I will
Fire.
I guess
That's not great.
bonus action command Floofy to help me, like stabilize me in the car, or like if we get hit,
Okay.
like help me keep my balance.
As you're jostling back and forth with the gun up, trying to get aim, you're like, Floofy, come on, and just grabs the back of your uniform and just pulls your ass down into the seat, stabilizing you. So now you've got a steady shot for the next round.
Okay. And I'll look at Chuck and just go, you get what I'm trying to do, right?
You get the idea.
You get the idea. End turn.
Guardian, it is your turn. Read are you going to try to pass through them?
Yes, I was gonna ask you how. I still have the stat sheet for the chuck wagon in my inventory. So what is and isn't on here as compared to the scrapper?
The only thing that's not on there is the jump seat with the ballista. And hold on, let me actually move that. The jump seat with the ballista is the only thing that's not on there. So everything else should be pretty much the same.
Okay. AC and hit points and everything?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a huge creature now, right?
It is a huge creature.
Alright, well, then gotta drive around it. Yeah. So how do you want me to move?
So as you're careening down, this thing grows in size, and you just fucking turn and try to just turn the thing out of the way.
Yep.
So you're trying to almost power slide it sideways to move in the other direction.
Yep.
You can drive over this glass corpse here.
Okay.
So
I can
basically-
move 60 feet.
Is that what's on the?
It land speed 100 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's 100.
That just takes us off the map, right?
So you still get opportunity attacks.
Correct. Yeah.
Also, you start your 3 of you start your turn. Floofy, Guardian, and Chuck, and including the wagon itself, start their turn within 5 feet of one of these things. So they do need to take. Not a lot.
I bet you it's enough for me to lose concentration on that banishing smite. I'll tell you what.
What did you banish? You didn't banish anything, did you? Or
I
are you
didn't
just
hit
gonna use it?
anybody. It's next time you hit an enemy.
It's you each take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Perfect.
Are we technically within 5 feet, or are you counting the just the whole vehicle as 5 feet? Within?
I'm not counting the whole vehicle as 5 feet. It's just Guardian and Chuck are the 2.
Got it.
Done.
Floofy is okay.
My floofy.
Okay. Opportunity attacks. Oh, the one thing that's different from the Blackstone vehicles as opposed to the Tormentors from the Descent to Avernus is that they don't have immunity to they're like immune to like fire, cold, thunder, and psychic.
Fire,
Fire,
poison,
poison,
and psychic.
It only has immunity to poison and psychic.
Convenient.
Very convenient.
Very
now.
convenient, isn't it? Well, I wanted to bring it up before we got into an argument about it.
I'm sure when we fight the poison enemies in the sand, all of a sudden,
Hey man, come on!
The
I'm trying to do my
tormenting
best,
against
man.
poison.
The tormentor's poisoned. Oh, it's
Starts
just so sick. It doesn't
vomiting
feel
Blackstone.
good. 15. Does that hit the AC of the tormentor or of the
Nope.
this grabber? Slams down. You move around the side of it and continue on. As you pass these creatures, they both just reach out and wail as you pass beyond their range. You guys are barreling now down through this area with the surprise not working so well. Do you want to kick the engine back on and keep moving?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, you pretty much drop the clutch on this thing, and it lurches to life and pushes forward into the sand further. These things are attempting to give chase, but they're not fast enough. But that doesn't stop the other ones who are further away from turning in the distance and attempting to make their way to your perceived path. As you guys are passing through this this area, you can see them begin to pop up into range. Each of them are about 30 feet away from you. If we're, let's see, let's make this more of a here. Let's put
this is not a particularly spicy meatball.
next round as you guys move 100 more feet. These creatures all about this distance from you. Char, it is your turn. Passing through now, more of them rise up from the ground, spewing magma and slag. Did I? Oh, it's still your turn?
Question. No,
My
I was gonna
mistake.
ask if I could use, because the movement
Mm-hmm.
it was just for the vehicle. So can I use an action surge to move even further?
Hmm.
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
you can't action surge. You can't action surge
yeah,
the
because it's the vehicle. Yeah,
Yeah.
the vehicle. Yeah. I got you.
Clever.
Then bonus action, commander strike, and I will tell Chuck to keep blasting.
Nice.
Blast
Bonus action,
away.
shovel Blackstone.
All
This
right.
Shoot at that one.
Done. I'll take my shot now.
3 more of these creatures burst up from the ground. The huge one behind you guys turns and then just crumbles into shattered glass as whatever entity that animates the stone passes into the sand beneath and begins to crawl under the ground.
19.
19's going to hit. Which one are you targeting?
The one in the upper left.
Roger that.
And add 10 damage to that.
I will indeed. 34.
God damn. And is that one
No, I haven't rolled the banish and smite damage yet.
Woo!
Do you want me to? Oh, fuck
yeah, go ahead.
Another 23 on top of that.
Hell
Amazing.
That's a spicy 57.
Oh my god.
You level the gun across your forearm, waiting as the ride is bouncing all over the place and bumping and rising. You go off the top of a dune, and as you do, you see the top of the form's head come right into your crosshairs, and you just pull the trigger. As it resounds back, the shot fires forward, enhanced by that smite, the bullet becoming just a black streak that pierces directly through this creature, and the whole thing just shatters down to the ground, pieces of it disappearing into another plane. As you guys continue.
Oh, it feels so good.
Char, now it is your turn. You've got more of these creatures around you. You see from the top of the vehicle turning, you see Chuck blast off a shot that sends one to another dimension. What would you like to do?
Nice to have you along, Shark.
Previously, EV's shot was that was fire, right? So fire.
From what you saw, yeah. So fire
gonna
blasted
make
the end of the gun.
And it's gonna make it huge instead of doing any actual damage to it.
That's what you deduce.
Okay. I'm gonna deploy an Eldritch Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna it's gonna stay on the car. It's not gonna move around on its own or anything. And I'm gonna use a Force Ballista to take a shot at the top right one.
Nice. So when you slam this thing down on the roof, what does it look like? Is it like a little spider kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a little spider. It has legs, but it's hanging on. It's like gripping onto the roof of the vehicle.
Slams it on. It's just, and then a turret whips from the front of it and begins to fire.
Rolling for damage. Let's see.
You have to roll to hit, right?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
That was where's it? Oh, there it is. Hit. $23.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. Damage is 15.
Nicely done. And does that push it back or anything, or is that a different?
I think so. I think it does push it back.
And is there a size limit on that?
No, it says 3d8 force damage, pushing target up to 5 feet away.
Okay, so that immediately just pushes it to here. It bursts up out of the sand around it blackening, and you can actually see little, despite the fact that it appears to be made of fire, there's like arcs of lightning that are pulling the rocks together around its body. This molten sort of weird coalescing goo inside of it. As it then gets blasted 5 feet back, a bunch of the rocks collapse into the ground and then rise back up again into the creature.
Great.
That's your bonus action,
Yeah,
right?
that's my bonus action.
Nice.
Damn.
I think that's it.
You can
Yeah, I'm
still,
gonna.
You can
What's
still
that?
use your action though, can't you? Or do you use your
I
action
think
to
the
activate the turret?
Actually, yeah, the action was to deploy the turret.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ending my turn.
All right. The vehicle bumping back and forth. This creature now is going to attempt to move closer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Try to get in front of the vehicle. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Can just get in the range of the giant hanging on the back of this thing. It's just like rumbling over. It's going to be real interesting when we hit a bump. He's going to go ahead and attempt to slam into you. And slam down on top. Oof, natural 20. Hey, we all got natural 20s now, right?
Yeah, hey.
Oh.
Thank you for at least waiting until I got my concentration gone.
What the fuck?
Dude, why are ranger spells so fucking pointless?
Oh.
Hey, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything's coming out. It's putting a bunch of stuff in for you. So mark down 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you.
And 15 points of fire damage.
But I dodged.
When did you
When did you dodge?
Oh, he's kidding.
How dare you?
And how would I dodge hanging onto the back of a fucking blackstone contraption? Like, like fucking Indiana Jones on the back.
Whenever somebody does something like that, my immediate, like, in my head, there's just like numbers and charts and graphs like flying through the air as I'm like trying to divine, like, wait, did you dodge? But I thought last turn there was a fucking malfunction. Anyway, that is that creature's turn. Did this one? This one did not dash, so he's going to instead 5, 10, 20, 25. He's going to end his turn on top of you guys as you're driving, and it just disappears into the ground. And there's, now that it's darker and you're closer to the citadel, you can see a glow coming from beneath the sands as it bursts up out of the ground, magma enveloping the vehicle all over, and then from the top, a hand forming into glass and attempting to smash down and hold onto the vehicle from underneath as it's now being like dragged under the vehicle.
I can't help but think, thank God we got insurance.
You know you can pay 15% less.
Quinn, it is your turn before you finish that thought.
Thank God.
I'd like to use my action to interact with object and tie myself off to the back if I can.
Okay, you can do that, but first I just need Floofy, Chuck, and Guardian to all take 7 points of fire damage.
No.
Sure. By the way,
And you're on fire.
Oh.
I read the second half of the block.
so I don't know how this is going to work with the type of creature it is and how it's moving and all of that stuff, but the Steel Defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see within 5 feet, provided the attack is against a creature other than the defender.
Okay.
So
This
I don't
was
know how that
not
plays
an
in.
Attack. Oh, okay. But did you want to use it on the attack that was with Quinn?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell like when that would work and when that wouldn't, but I just want to bring it to light just in case you're going to make an attack that you know would be.
Got it.
He would have disadvantage.
I'll try to call out when I'm actually making an attack, because that's going to be really helpful, I think, for your ability. So like he's going to attack and he's going to do this. So that might kind of help you out. This last thing was a feature. So basically it came underneath the thing, and now that he's sharing his space, they're going to take some damage.
So 7 points of damage. Got it.
7 points of damage. You're going to interact with object to tie yourself down.
Tie myself so that my hands are free.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You're proficient enough. I think some folks might need to take an action for that, but you're proficient enough with rope and tying to be able to fasten yourself in quick enough.
Okay. And then I'm going to...
Proficient.
It's been a long 3 years.
Yeah. So that's the hand, right?
Yeah.
Thing I'm pinging. So it's underneath. I can't see it.
You can see it. It's sharing this. It's sharing the space basically. From a mechanic standpoint, it is sharing the space now with these people. You can see bits of it coming up, and with how good you are with your bow and with your knives, you'll be able to hit it.
Okay, bonus action market, and then
You're gonna go to the market.
Since I'm hanging off, I'm gonna try and take a sniper shot at it.
Okay. Basically, just back and forth on this vehicle, knock an arrow and let loose.
24 to hit.
You know it hits, Autumn.
I'm just waiting for the confirmation.
Roll for damage.
Oh, there it is.
Does not want to be
Like,
held.
God damn it!
Does
Oh,
not
I don't want to
be
be in
held.
your stupid stream.
No, I'm gonna let him down. He hates being held.
Oh.
Plus, he was mid playing too. So, I got him all these like little catnip mice, and they're all over the house now.
Oh, he's high as shit then right now.
And so
He's
he,
like,
he was
what are you
like-
doing,
He
human?
was like mid attack, and suddenly he's like, no. 24? Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
Watch
has that
viewership
thing-
on the stream just plummets now that the cat's
Yeah,
been
it
seen.
goes up
Like,
Yeah,
and
they're
down.
like, okay.
everyone's
that's
like,
it.
cool.
I'm good.
Angry Dog Mommy says thank you, Phil.
You are very welcome in Avio. No, it's Angry Dog Mommy. Not
Yeah.
Avio.
Yeah.
Too
That's
many
fine.
names.
You've got 600 things to deal with right now. Was this thing damaged already?
It was damaged.
Okay.
Yeah, it was damaged.
Okay, and it's within 5 feet, so I get my full dice spread, right? Nice.
It's not within 5 feet. It's 10 feet away from you.
No, within 5 feet from an ally.
Oh, got
So-
it, yeah.
Yeah. So I get my full dice spread. $38 damage.
The fist comes up, slams into the canopy of this scrambler, and you can see the molten the molten materials actually seeping into the vehicle, onto all over you guys, and you are now covered in this burning liquid that is like napalm, just covering your skin, setting you aflame. You guys are all on fire, and then it all above you turns to glass and shatters off the top of the vehicle. The whole vehicle lurches up as the back wheels are caught on all this obsidian that smashes and turns into shards and is now rolling down the hill with you guys as you guys are now in front of a bunch of rolling, crumbling glass boulders that have now dissipated from the death of this creature.
That was
okay,
my
I can
first
fix
shot.
it.
Yeah.
So this then
Everything's
there's
fine.
that creature's to my right that's within range of me.
Mm-hmm.
I turn and I sniper that guy.
Okay, well, are you at disadvantage or no? Because it's within 5 feet. Is sharpshooter get rid of
Yeah.
your disadvantage?
No, sharpshooter doesn't ignore the 5 feet thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it
Double
doesn't.
check.
It's like
Yeah, it's
archery
just
expert
for
or something.
it's just for coverage.
Roger that. Trying to figure
Come
out why
on, give me the good roll.
in the overlay, the mid scene is so out of focus and blurry and like low res. I'm trying to figure out why that is. I'm gonna find a solution for that. That's kind of lame.
16.
16 to hit.
Yeah.
That hits.
Oh my god, I thought it was going to be the first time in like 3 months that you've missed a shot.
Not today.
I would have.
Were you rooting for me to miss? What did the
Honestly, like mid key, yeah.
Mid key.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm there. Okay.
All right, what kind of damage are we doing over there, Quinn?
A lot.
A lot. I'm counting, okay?
34.
34, that's a done. You see half of this creature just explode into shrapnel as you fire into the core of its being. Somehow, when you fired into the magma, it seems like it hurt it even more, and it caused a lot of the limbs that had grown from this creature to shatter off and fall into the dirt and dust around you. And then more of it began to sprout up from the center magma core of this creature. Is that your turn, sir?
Yeah, that's all I've got, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, you are up next.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna take a shot at the one. After I see Quinn get half of it, I say, "Here's for the other half."
Okay. Before you take your shot, if you would like to, you are on fire and you are gonna take 4 points of fire damage. You can use your action to douse yourself, or you can just be on fire if you want.
I think we both know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna douse myself, then action surge another shot.
Okay.
I got shooting to do.
Just fire off immediately with wasting no time.
It's gonna be a. Well, I think I missed probably 14.
No, you hit.
Oh my god! All right.
They're pretty big, hard to miss. They don't exactly have a lot of defensive capabilities.
All right. Well, 19 damage.
Nicely done.
Still up?
No. You turn back around, douse yourself, kind of gun laying over the top of the vehicle, and fire off that shot as what reformed at the top from the magma appeared to be some kind of eyeless head that then shatters as soon as it's formed as you take a well-placed shot dropping it to the ground. And now just what was being rebuilt of its body now just tips and falls over, letting go of the side of the vehicle and tumbling and rolling, turning into a bunch of glass boulders rolling down the hill behind you guys.
Well, that's that.
Well, I hate that. Stupid.
Is that your turn, Chuck?
Was that?
Was that your turn, Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I guess I can't ready in action. There's no enemies left, right?
There are currently no enemies within a realistic range. There are more of these creatures further away, out in front of you, a good 200 feet or so, about 2 rounds.
My range is 320.
You want to take a shot?
Fuck yeah, I got one left.
Go ahead.
All right, sharpshooter.
20. Jeez.
I like how. Let's see if we can move stealthily. Turned into. I'm gonna take a shot from 300 feet away.
Right.
14 again.
A hit?
Isn't that with disadvantage?
No, he has.
No, sharpshooter removes. If it's sharpshooter, I can take the full range.
Oh, okay. Well then, shit. All right.
21 points of damage.
I make sure to look at which one Chuck is shooting at.
Okay. You can see there's this far away, and with it getting darker, it's getting closer to these storm clouds. You just see a flare of sparks and molten something that blasts out of this creature from that distance and sort of showers down into the sand. Pretty sure.
I'm gonna turn around and be like,
Okay. All right. I see. I saw.
I pull out an arrow.
Evie, you are up.
All right. With that, I will put the wrench away, and I will pull out my rifle, and I'll look at Chuck, and I'll kind of give him a wink, and I'll narrow in the sights, and I will take a shot at the creature in the distance.
You have sharpshooter as well?
Do sharpshooter as well. So that's a -5 to
for a +10
the attack
damage.
roll. Okay. First one is a 20 to hit, not natural.
That's definitely gonna hit.
We both know that hits.
Just
Come
nice
on.
to say. It's the magic number.
That's 28 damage, magical damage, and
What kind of just? It's a magical gun, right?
yeah, it's just
+1.
piercing,
Okay.
magical.
It just passes right through from this distance. There's a bit of sparks, and then that creature from this distance just goes dark, and then disappears in the darkness. You don't even see it anymore.
And then I will turn my sights to another one, whichever one I can see,
Mm-hmm.
and I will fire another shot.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
Is this? Hold
Can
on.
you use?
Is this with the Stone Fort Breacher?
I don't know. It's just a hunting rifle,
Hunting rifle. Oh, okay.
and it's one of my infusions, so it ignores the loading property.
Boom. That's exactly what I was asking about. So you're good. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It automatically reloads. There's the chamber in there that pops up as soon as, and I will fire again. Can you do sharpshooter just once, or
Nope. You can do
Every
it
shot.
every shot.
every single time? Let's do it again.
Why not?
Why not? That is a 19 to hit,
Still gonna hit.
and that will do a 26 piercing
Nicely
damage.
done.
And bonus action, I will command Floofy to begin repairing our vehicle where it has been damaged. I don't know how many points of damage it took, but I assume it would need some repairing.
Floofy can use. How does that mechanic work? Is it just the bending spell?
It's repair, so
Repair.
it can restore 2d8 plus 2 hit points to itself or one construct or
Oh.
object within 5 feet.
That's awesome. So immediately Floofy turns, lowers down, and from one of the compartments that you built into her, tools begin to appear, and there is now this connection to the vehicle and Floofy as he repairs. Floofy's a boy, right, or a girl?
Boy.
Boy. Floofy begins to do his best to repair the machine, and he seems to be pretty good at it.
That is 11, 12, 13 points you will restore to
Nice.
the vehicle.
Nice.
And turn.
Not bad at all.
I will and look at Chuck again.
Wait, was I the only one on fire?
Sorry. Floofy is on fire, so at the top of your turn, Floofy takes some damage. Floofy takes 2 points of damage.
That is fine.
My dog is on fire. He's okay.
My dog is fine.
Next up.
A dog's on fire. How about yours? That's what I like.
That was good. Guardian, it is your turn. You are now in control of this vehicle. You are on fire. You can barely see through the encroaching darkness. Make a perception check.
I love how you started shaking your head before you rolled.
9.
9. Okay. What would you like to do with your turn?
I'm gonna put myself out for one.
Okay.
I mean, and it's assumed that the vehicle is still.
You do take 8 points of damage. 8 points of fire damage.
Why?
You know what? You're right. Never mind.
Is
We just argue with Sebastian until he says nothing bad ever happens to us, and we destroy all his creatures.
Fine.
Just all
your
rules
character
lawyer.
lives, and you get all your hit points back. Just, like, slam my camera on the ground.
If I don't attack, it should count as a long rest.
If I do attack and miss, that should count as a short rest. Because I have a short time to think about what I fucked up.
All right, so keep moving forward.
Yeah.
But it was an action to put myself out, correct?
Right, so you have to use your action to move the vehicle forward. So basically it started decelerating when you started putting yourself out.
Then, oh. I mean, that doesn't count as movement.
It's a little weird mechanically, but we'll say that for the purposes of this, you move half speed. So you still move 50 feet. Okay? Because
What
it's
if I
kinda
action
weird.
surge?
It's kind of weird if it just... then that's fine. You can maintain the
Okay.
vehicle speed.
All right, fuck it.
Alright, cool. So, at the helm now, you're just wordlessly putting yourself out, the organic parts of your body burning under the tough metal exterior, and then both hands back on the wheel, head down, and just continue down the hill.
What do we see now?
With your 9, a lot of dark landscape and a lot of those slightly glowing forms out in the landscape. It's getting darker and darker the further you get in, almost as if it's nighttime. And you can see these magma type creatures rising from the ground. There appear to be, now where you guys are, as close as you are, around between 7 to 10 of them, and they're spread out. There's at least 30 to 40 feet in between each of them, and they're sort of milling about almost listlessly, like they don't really have any sort of destination.
But
Has it
how-
been a minute since we started down the hill?
No.
Okay. Just making
How
sure.
many are in our path?
You see about 6 of those dots that off out in the landscape.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. End turn.
All right. Barreling forward. You can feel beneath the wheels. You can feel the ground getting rockier. You'd been passing into a much rockier landscape before as you got into the foothills, away from the sand dunes. But now it's becoming much more uneven and stony and rocky as you're getting closer and closer to the fortress. Char, it is your turn. You see your companions, the one in the jump seat to your right, was just on fire, put himself out, turned, and then shot off in the distance at this creature, and you saw just a shower of sparks and molten rock hit the ground. And then you saw the same thing happen with Evie on your left, fired out in the darkness, and then splashes of red, and then dissipation of the creature. There's still about 6 more of them at various distances out in front of you. Some as close as 200 feet, others as far away as 800 to 900 feet. You guys are still a good half a mile, maybe a little over half a mile to the fortress itself, or the perimeter of the fortress.
200 feet, you said? The closest one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, jeez. I think,
Excuse me, 100 feet, because Guardian moved, which means that we can't display it on here. Do I have a bigger battle map? Someone throwing their dice down the stairs?
No, nobody dropped anything. I think we all know that. Anyway, I'll see you guys.
I'm gonna take a shot with my turret, the force ballista, again at the closest one.
Okay, so that one's about 100 feet away. It's not to scale on the map yet. It's
okay.
over.
Welcome
it's
back, Dan.
Pretty far back there.
He just vented.
That's the closest. That's the closest one, and that's not quite to scale. Let's say 5. Let me put you guys back here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70, 80, 75, 80, 85, 99. That actually is to scale, so that's where it is. That's the closest one. There's another one over here.
Okay. So 13 to hit on that one.
That just barely hits as it wings it in the leg, just off center gravity. Off center core.
How many does he have to do?
What is going
Really?
on?
Seriously.
Yeah, I know what the hell.
It's making him do stuff.
Fuck you, Dan.
I just realized it's on his stream, so he's got all
It
of it.
is. It is.
I don't know if y'all can see this shit, but 1, 2, 3,
Not going low enough.
5,
Form,
7.
redeem, squats,
Don't knock your
and
back.
hydrate at the same time.
I've actually been doing redeems of hydrate during his turn.
Why is he doing push-ups?
He's got he can
He's got
explain
a
it better than I can. But 13 hits if you want to roll your damage for your force ballista.
Yeah. I'm
Oh yeah, we're playing D&D.
Oh, that's right.
14.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna
Why are you not streaming this, Dan? Why?
I should.
Why do I not?
I'm hosting on. I think I'm hosting your stream on my channel.
Well, see, as the rules as written are, if you're hosting someone, you have to, every time something is redeemed in stream, you have to do that also.
That's absolutely not the rules. You're misreading that.
Oh, I can't get my guys in here. Come on. Anyway, use your imagination. So you fire off. There's an arc of like a blast of wind from the turret that's like slammed onto the front of this scrambler. Just boom, as it shrieks into the night, and then poof, there's like a blast of energy that knocks away some of that shattered creature's demeanor, and just blows off like dust into the night sky. What would you like to do for your action?
I'm looking. It doesn't kill it or anything, right? I mean, it's just barely did any damage.
He didn't like that, from what you can gather.
Okay.
It bummed him out.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on. Can I do it on the entire vehicle that one, or do I have to choose one target on? I think we're close enough, right?
Well, the vehicle can be a target.
Yeah, I'll allow it, but it won't protect everyone. It'll protect the vehicle specifically. The creature can still target a creature inside the vehicle specifically, and it won't trigger Sanctuary. But for them to specifically attack the vehicle, they'll need to make the Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, they've been shooting. They've been like taking swipes at us, right? Not the vehicle itself.
From what you've seen so far, yeah, it looks like they have really only attacked. Well, they attacked the vehicle sort of once,
Yeah.
and then the only other person they attacked was Quinn because he was hanging off the back.
And he's
also the
boy.
biggest target too.
What are you saying?
Yeah, you got to think if we're
what are you
moving
implying?
while you shrink. Also, those ropes are not going to fit.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, but I've got a piton, so.
And we all know how pitons work, so we don't have to go over that.
What do you
for stream,
guys
that's
think?
just a bunch of flashback humor.
Should I cast it on? Do we need that right now? Like in case any of these other? No.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's up to
Your
you.
turn.
All right, I'm gonna cast it on the vehicle then. See if we can protect us a bit.
Having a lot of trouble with this screen right now. I'll put you guys here. See in the center. We got creature up there. Just way too much ground to cover.
So now we're going down a second dune. Is that how this is working?
Basically, it leveled out and then it continued down.
Cool.
You're moving what seems to be almost like into a valley, and as you come out of the dunes, it's coming into a rockier area. And then what were you going to cast?
Sanctuary on the vehicle.
Okay, Sanctuary
Yeah.
vehicle. Okay, awesome. Ahead of you guys now, more of these creatures, or rather the same six, are sort of milling about and beginning to turn their attention towards you.
Didn't we take out one of those 6?
Yes, you did. So 5. Damn it! I fucked everything up. It is their turn. Unfortunately, none of them are really close enough to do much to you guys, but they are going to move their full movement and dash to get closer to you. So this one is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80 to there.
Jeez.
And another one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Straight
60,
plain chicken.
65, 70, 75, 80. Yeah. Basically, they don't seem very bright, but they seem to grasp the basics of if I move in front of thing, it no get away easy.
I can relate to that.
Very relatable.
That's the voice in Chuck's head all the time.
That's Dan in a bar with the ladies.
Me buy you drink.
How's it going?
Where are you trying to
come here
go?
often?
Where are you going?
Was it something I said?
Quinn, it is your turn.
Bonus action, mark the one in front of us, directly in front of us.
Okay.
Has anybody done any damage to it or anything?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. This one has been.
That
damaged.
one's damaged?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
damaged by,
Sharpshooter on it?
Okay. It's missing. Not that you can really even tell, but it's missing some chunks of its form towards the middle.
Okay, 16. Does that hit?
That hits.
All right. All the dice. Uh, 38 damage.
38 damage. You let loose, it passes straight through, and there's a flare of red as the whole creature shatters from the inside and blasts out in just a full 360 shower of rocks.
Okay, and so then I'm gonna take a shot for the next one in front of us.
Okay.
That's a sharpshooter again.
Mm-hmm. That's up here.
And that is 19. 19.
Definitely gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. It is dark around all of you, by the way. And now, as you're passing through this area, you can see bolts of lightning coming from the clouds above, most of which are striking the tower, but some of which seem to be striking the sands around you.
30 damage on that one.
Another arrow sails overhead, pierces directly into the center mass of this creature, deep into that magma glow in the center of the creature's form, and the magma glow goes out and the whole creature's form crumbles to the ground, and then from beneath that, more of the magma surges from under the sand, turning it to glass and filling the form, though half the size of what it once was. Alright. Quinn, is that your turn?
Yes, end of turn.
Chuck, you are up next.
Alrighty. Shooty. At the guy right in front. Baba Booey.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Sharpshooter. 15.
15? That is just going to hit, yeah.
For a massive 8 damage. 18, sorry.
That's enough. The creature...
I was excited about that.
The creature reaches up from the ground, the top half of its body trying to form a fist so that it gets slammed down on the vehicle as it passed into your area, and the bullet pierces the center of the fist, and the whole thing just shatters and blasts apart. That creature collapsing into the ground, the magma too dispersed now to reform into a proper body. It is dead.
Question: seeing the lightning strike the ground around us, do I notice that has anything to do with spawning some of these magma creatures?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, I got the brains of someone with a lot of brains.
Add
Get that on a
add
t-shirt.
Brains of a fruit fly.
I see Chuck kind of like starting to think, and I will
And I will help.
flash of genius. I will help him try to remember. I'll help him pull
Alright.
these threads from his memory.
Well,
So add 4.
Joke's on all of you. 20 not natural.
24, right? With the plus 4?
No. Total.
Okay. You can tell. You can see from where the lightning strikes are hitting, it's creating the blackened sand. But there's no creatures rising from the ground. You don't think that they're necessarily related. More than likely, the lightning strikes are definitely being cultivated in this area from a 20. But these creatures seem to be formed out of multiple different elements. They seem to be not just fire and lightning, but also elements of moisture and water that give them their mercurial magma form.
Okay. So what? There's also 3 left, right? Or 2 left?
3 left.
3. All right. Cool. I got 1 shot left. I'll do whatever it's called, sharpshooter. 20 not natural.
Whatever it's called.
Gonna hit. Go ahead.
23 damage.
Nicely done.
This guy, right?
This one, yeah, this one up here, right?
This one.
Yeah, that one. This one up here.
Wait, that one's dead.
Oh wait,
No.
that one is dead.
No.
I
Oh,
thought that
okay.
was the first shot.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you're right. The one up here. Yeah.
So it's gonna be this one. This one. This one.
You're just gonna keep pinging it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Is
that
it, is
one,
it, is it this one?
Wait,
Okay,
is it
go
this
on.
one?
All right.
It's this one.
Yeah, that one.
It's
That
this
one?
one.
Are you sure? Is it
Wait,
this
no,
one?
I think it's this one.
It's
It's probably that
Yep.
one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that one.
Okay.
I feel
You're
like
all
it's
wrong.
this one.
You got it. You
No,
got it.
It's
You got
this
it.
one.
Okay, it's this one.
Sorry.
All right, damn it. It's enough. So, okay.
You're
take how
just
much
acting
damage?
up because we're streaming.
No, this is par for the course. This is D&D.
So that was how much damage, Chuck?
23.
Okay. Perfect. Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
There's another gunshot from above the chassis of this vehicle, ringing through the night, echoing off the valley as a giant chunk of this creature blasts backwards. Half of its body taken off, the head disappears, the one whole arm and shoulder disappears, and then from the red magma in the center of it, another arm and head begin to form out. Malformed this time, 2 arms and a head that seems misshapen as it attempts to reform itself from the ruins. Evie, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Would like to take a sharpshooter shot at this one.
Wait, which one?
This one.
Okay.
Yay.
Can you ping it just one more time?
Just make sure.
That one.
Roger that. Roll to hit.
All right. -5 is 17 to hit.
Gonna hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. And that is 24 damage. And when I see it hit, I will press a little button on the side of my gun and add 2d something force damage. Arcane Jolt.
Is that what type of damage is that?
It is force damage.
Very cool. There's
Is additional 6 points of force damage.
You guys see, instead of just the regular shots that she's been firing off, there's a lot of kickback from whatever this handcrafted weapon she uses is. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. Could be Stonefort Breacher, so heavily modified as to be unrecognizable. But when she presses that button, there is a whoomph sound as twice as much force is ejected from the front of this weapon. And you see the creature at the end of the barrel just blast into dust. No giant chunks of glass and rock, but actual just pulverized into silicate and scattered in a giant cloud.
Do I see any more of these creatures beyond?
No. You guys have cleared the path now. It is nothing but
I will turn
darkness
my
ahead.
rifle towards Chuck. No, I'm just kidding. I still have an attack. I will fire into the air in celebration.
You shot God.
You fire off into the air, and you just see one of the sand skates just like one of the manta ray things spiraling down.
Oh.
So Evie, that was your turn.
And I will. I mean, how does the vehicle look? Does it look like it needs more repair, or is it in pretty good shape?
Vehicle looks like it's in great shape. As far as health is concerned, it's still kind of a clunker, but outside of that,
of course, we'll get our deposit back. Is what I'm saying.
It was
Guardian,
like that when we got it.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw with the vehicle stats.
Okay. I will use its reaction to gain advantage.
Okay.
That was a 17.
17. You are coming up on a rock outcropping that is far too vast for the vehicle to maneuver around. Or to maneuver through, rather. So you jerk the wheel to the side, causing it to almost skip and jump 20 feet to the side and catch again as the whole vehicle lurches with enhanced speed, the wheel spinning, and it just rockets forward. You almost begin to lose control of the vehicle as it begins moving at such a speed now that it has all this momentum put force through its engines through the bottom. As you stomp on the pedals to get away from the remainder of the creatures behind you, almost out of range, and ramp off into the darkness. You're wearing goggles of night, right? Or the gilded gazers? No.
Unless Quinn gave it to me, I was not.
That was not set up beforehand.
You basically you see those rocks almost entirely too late as they move into like the dim light that surrounds the vehicle in a very close proximity. And as you wrench and turn and fire off, you were just looking at darkness over the front of the vehicle. And then your head rocks off the front of the steering wheel as you are completely unprepared for the impact as it lands on the far side of that black river you guys saw when you first came in. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. I need Quinn. You can still make a straight roll because you're still large. Do you get advantage on dexterity? I'm sorry, it's not dexterity, it's strength. It's a strength saving throw.
I'm tied on.
Yikes.
I'm tied on.
But you would have I guess you do have advantage because you're also large and you're tied on.
Yeah.
Strength saving throw.
Actually, with the amount of force from this, it would most likely rip the rope anyway. So just roll straight.
Okay.
Who's this tiny kitty doing, tiny kitty?
Strength?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So, starting with Quinn, what do you got?
24.
Success. Chuck, what do you got?
5.
You'll be fine. Evie, what do you got?
14.
14. Guardian, what do you got?
23.
And Char, what do you got?
19.
The vehicle impacts, and as it does, it hits and digs and flips forward. As it does, it makes almost a full rotation, slamming into the back. Quinn, you had managed to crawl onto the roof as this thing was sailing through the air, just managing to keep yourself on the vehicle. As both Chuck Oh, and roll for Floofy too. Chuck and Evie are thrown from the vehicle 20 feet as the vehicle comes to a rest, right side up, but almost like slammed into the back and fell. So basically hit, flipped, slam, and smash, ejecting both Evie and Chuck from the vehicle.
Floofy got the 15.
Floofy will be ejected as well. What did you get, Char? 17?
19.
19. The three of you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. The three of you are prone. But in the dark, rocky landscape, you only hear the sounds of lightning and wind and thunder. No apparent sounds of any more of those creatures.
Do we still hear battle drums?
It's just turning it off.
What's going on?
Somebody told me that having anxiety is like hearing the Skyrim battle music, like when you're not in combat, and you're just like, I know something is... I'm stressed. Good job, guys. You now are a good 600 feet from the... Let me turn my music back on. You guys are roughly 600 feet from the entranceway to the caverns of this massive structure. There are tall, oblong, almost standing stones that have been weather-worn through years and years and years of erosion and sandblasting and wind that have narrowed a lot of these stones to almost a pointed peak. You see now that this close, there is a constant jet of steam that erupts from many of the metal structures on the outside of this building that have been almost drilled and smashed into it. And there is a warm light that comes from the center of this building, a tall archway that appears to be over 100 feet high.
As I lay there, I will relight my cigarette, and I will pull out another one and throw it in the general direction of Chuck.
You feel it kind of... You just reach up your hand, kind of grab it out of the air, and immediately just pull it to your lips.
Oh.
I untie and go over to Guardian, make sure he's all right, and I go, hey, yeah, maybe next time we should remember the gazers, whatever the fuck these things are called.
I agree.
Guardian is still holding the steering wheel.
You've had them for 4 years and still don't know how.
It's been a while.
The vehicle landed right side up.
Okay.
So...
well, first, did it take damage from the fall, or from that?
It took 35 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so mishap threshold 20.
Go ahead and roll on the. There should be a table there for you. If not, I'll pull it up right now.
I don't see a table right now.
I'll pull it up for you.
What's the difference between the damage and mishap thresholds?
It has to take like 10. It has to take at least 10 damage to actually be damaged. So I actually just noticed that it shouldn't have taken fire damage before, right, from the monsters, because it never reached over 10.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And if it passes the mishap threshold of 20 damage, then we got to roll some stuff to see if it's like busted or not.
Gotcha. Busted.
Go ahead and roll
So then-
d20.
So was it not broken, so would Floofy have needed to repair it if it didn't take damage earlier?
I guess not. No.
Because I only ask because he gets 3 per day, so I don't
Oh.
burn one if I don't have to.
You can keep it. You can keep the charge.
Got it. Thanks.
What did you roll?
Is there any modifiers to that?
No, it's just a straight roll.
7.
When it impacted into the ground, when it landed on the back, you can see all of the metallic, like heavy iron tubing and like sort of a furnace structure on the back that then wound back into the vehicle and would gout black exhaust. You see that whole area is just crunched in and smashed from where Quinn had been standing on top of it. And he had just narrowly scrambled out of the way when it landed on the back, crushing that whole manifold. And when it fell forward, it just is pancaked flat.
Still drivable?
You start it up, and the engine rumbles and roars to life. It sounds a little off. Like doesn't really seem to be getting enough juice.
Well, as people collect themselves, I'll see what I can do to keep repairing or.
Okay. Do you want to make
yeah.
do you want to make a Tinker's Tools check to attempt to repair it?
I do not have Tinker's tools.
Okay.
I just have Smith's
So
tools.
is that a no?
I don't know. Is it?
You can attempt to repair it with Smith's tools, but you feel like you might not have the right tool for the job.
Evie.
Evie's still flat on her back in the darkness.
Yeah, I can't see shit. I'm just hollering out.
I take off the glasses and hand them to him.
Thank you.
Put on
I
the
think you probably
tacky
need
gold
these.
goggles.
I'll go help out the 2 that have been flung out of the vehicle.
Char, you see Quinn, the half elf, walk over to Guardian, this massive metal Warforged, which you're pretty familiar with Warforged with your background, and hands him these super tacky solid gold with silver inlay goggles that he then slips on over his visor and his helmet. Kind of ridiculous looking. But
Rude. Okay.
fair. It's okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna see if I can help repair it with because I have Tinker's tools.
Okay.
So,
And then Evie, are you still chilling?
Guardian, what do you want?
Car needs repairs.
Pull these down, and I will adjust them so they provide me some dark vision. And I get up, dust myself off. Floofy gets up and follows me over to the vehicle.
Floofy had just been laying next to you, sort of waiting for you to get up. And as you see Evie stand up, her hair is just like matted with sand and dirt and dust and kind of sticking straight up in some places as she just pulls the goggles down and begins to trudge over. You guys can both, one of you can make the check with advantage, or both of you can roll, and we can take the higher one.
I will stand over Char's shoulder and kind of do some backseat driving.
micromanaging.
Yeah. Why are
What
you
am I-
using that wrench? It is not
what
the
am I
right wrench.
rolling
You want
for?
to use this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to break it or did I misunderstand?
I thought we were trying to fix it. Okay.
You're gonna make you're gonna roll a d20. You're going to add your intelligence modifier, and then you are going to add your proficiency bonus because you are proficient with Tinker's tools. So your proficiency bonus is at the top of your sheet. It should be a +4, I think.
+4.
So, and then plus your intelligence modifier.
28.
Ooh. All right.
You can see immediately that it's just a matter of reforming and resealing these components, which isn't hard with what you have. It'll take a little bit of time to solder everything back together to a point where you feel like it won't burst from the internalized pressure, but you can do it. It'll take you maybe 20 minutes or so to get it, or probably closer to an hour. Between half an hour and an hour to kind of get it done, depending on whether or not you can scrounge and scrap pieces of metal you don't need from the other part of the vehicle to create new pieces to fix it.
I will offer up any kind of scrap metal from my bag that I have to help well.
That will speed the process along. It'll take no more than 30 minutes tops to make sure that it's basically probably with a 28 better than it was before. You notice that it wasn't even the cliff didn't help, but looking at this piece of technology, it probably would have burst at some point anyway, and so you repairing it have put it back in better order than it was previously, especially with the scrap that Evie was willing to provide.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and repair it and do it.
As you're sitting there, you can see she's moving with deftness and understanding that, Evie, you can't help but admire a little bit.
Don't tell me how I feel.
Fair.
Ouch.
Moving with
Quinn looks at Chuck and then walks off to the restroom.
with a deftness and understanding of machines that she just seems to know where everything's supposed to go, despite not being experienced with this type of technology. And you do a good job. Now, as you guys all sit down here for a short rest, I assume, you guys want to take a quick 10-minute break?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we'll come back, we'll wrap up the session, and we'll kind of continue on from there and get set up for next week.
Awesome.
Cool. See everybody in 10.
What happened?
We
Where'd
took a
everybody go?
break.
What?
We were on a break.
Oh,
That's just
man.
a pretty great Friends reference.
All right. Break time, huh? Well, let me.
It's a short rest also.
Oh, it's a short rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you go? Why are you not on my screen? Did you just mute your visual?
No, I didn't mute it. I stuck my webcam behind my computer because it doesn't. I don't have a sticker or a shutter or anything. I should just be black. Watch. Check this out. Is that better?
That's great. Why don't you do that some more? I'm sure that looks great on the stream that we have not stopped.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, for all the viewers, we are on a short break right now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the arts department, and welcome to our first Dungeons and Designers stream. We've been a long time in the making, and it's pretty exciting, actually. We've been doing this every Saturday for a number of years now. Dan Goldberg?
It's been like almost 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, this is probably going to be a regular occurrence in the arts department. If you're looking for some good times, some good laughs, and some good D&D, I think we've got a pretty good crew here that likes to have a lot of fun. So if you haven't already, smash the follow button and get notified when we're live. just be prepared for a little stumbling in the mornings. Generally, we call it the technical difficulties stream because it's always something when you're trying to remotely play and stream and all of the things at once.
There's going to be goofs and spoofs and, rip roaring. And, all right, I'll see you. I'm going to go.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, solid. You're really good on camera, Dan.
I have a face for radio.
So, if anybody's around and wants to chat it up in the stream, we've got a few minutes. Everybody else is grabbing food. I had a late breakfast this morning, so I am straight chilling. What I can do is I can turn on our slideshow here, and you can see some of the art that we've done. Oh, not that one. There we go. So as designers, we do a lot of art and stuff. So you'll find that Dungeons and Designers is an apt name for our group because all of us are attached to the arts in one form or another. So we'll be doing art that is D&D centric. A lot of the stuff on the arts department actually directly translates to Dungeons and Designers, and we'll be doing a lot of it in the future that is kind of back and forth between the two. So during the week on the arts department, you'll see me doing art, and some of that will go towards the Saturday sessions with Dungeons and Designers. And yeah, everybody benefits. We have a good time. You guys get more streams, you get more social time in, you get laughs, and you get art. So stick around and enjoy Dungeons and Designers in the arts department. Well, hello there, Vilfarel / Sebastian
Hey,
/ Bast / Seb.
you got angry dog mommy over there?
They had to bounce out. They had errands to run and stuff, so they're. I'm just saying hello to the people that are here. There is a bunch of people in the users, but nobody has said anything.
That's
so
okay.
I'm assuming that yeah, they've got it on the background.
Yeah.
You know how it goes with streams.
Totally.
You just pop them open and check them out and do what you do. They're the background for your life. It's actually I appreciate that about streams is like I can pop on and pop off, and there's always the VODs to kind of check back in with later on.
I kind of feel like I appreciate, at least the people that I watch the stream, like I appreciate when there's not a ton of, like, there's not a ton that I personally need to invest aside from my time. Like, if it's just like, if someone isn't like, hey person, oh, hey, come say hi, like, get involved, do this thing. I think from my perspective, people are just like, oh, hey, welcome. And then just kind of go back to doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
It feels less like
singling you out.
Yeah. And also, like, it feels less like I'm being involved into some sort of thing. Like I'm joining a cult. Like, I just gonna pop open your stream and see what you're doing, and if you're doing something cool. Like, nothing personal if I leave. Like,
Yeah. And from my end, I like to get my people involved. I like to be like, hey, how's it going? What are you up to? What's new? What's different?
Yeah.
I like to interact with my community. That being said, it's not a
interactions in general are a bummer.
It is not a requirement ever for you to say or do anything. I do appreciate everyone that's there.
What do you got over there, Sito?
What was that?
I saw you have noodles for lunch.
Yeah. I went to 101 Noodle Cafe last night to get some beef noodles for the parentals. It's kind of leftovers and shit.
Hold on. I know 101 Cafe,
Mm-hmm.
but what is the 101 noodle? Is that like, did they branch out?
What is the 101 Cafe that you know
The
of?
101 Cafe is the, well, no, I guess it is, yeah. It's the one, it's like right by Hollywood Tower on Hollywood Boulevard. It's, no, maybe it's, I'm sorry. Maybe it's called a 101 Coffee Shop, not 101 Cafe. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm fairly
It's like a
certain that's
breakfast place.
No. This is like a northern Chinese joint. They make like really, really good beef noodles and dumplings and shit. So
I thought they're like made a hard turn from like American diner breakfast food into like northern Chinese cuisine.
Yeah.
They got a new chef, and man, did things change for the better.
Yeah.
Actually.
Overnight rebranding of their entire restaurant.
So get this. You know, we were doing like pancakes and waffles, dumplings.
I'm gonna have to put together like a we're on break video for this, where it's just 15 to 20 minutes of moments from our campaign, since we have so many that we've recorded, but we haven't actually, you know what I mean?
I
just put together.
I kind of like this. Weirdly enough,
We're just like,
it's kind of personal.
just chilling, hanging out with the community. I mean,
Just eating a rice cake with some peanut butter on it.
dude, that's my jam right now. Rice cakes with peanut butter, or tortillas with, or not peanut butter, but almond butter. Tortillas with almond butter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I recently found was lavash bread with almond butter. It's basically flatbread.
Yeah, I've only ever had lavash bread with hummus.
Yeah, so if you get like the unflavored, so it's not like
Garlic.
it's not like
So
garlic,
it's not
or anything.
and almond butter.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to try garlic and almond butter and banana sandwich. Okay.
Yes. What could go wrong?
It could be good. You don't know.
It might be. I haven't tried it.
Could be.
You don't have to put your hand in fire to know fire's hot. You don't have to eat a garlic banana, and almond butter sandwich to know it's going to taste.
Hey
like
man,
shit.
sometimes you just gotta make a horrible mistake to learn. You know?
Totally, yeah. Hey kids, learn from my mistake. Don't eat a garlic banana and almond butter lavash bread sandwich. Okay, I've done the work for humanity.
I just posted a doodle into the Discord channel of what we just went through. Probably 100% off from what you had in mind, but
Whatever your vision is more. It's every bit as legitimate as what I described. 100%,
Right.
Or is what I see.
Pretty accurate.
That's the beauty of this thing,
I don't know if they're as angry as you're portraying them, though. Maybe they're very maybe they're just welcoming us to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or they probably didn't look like Grimace from McDonald's either.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it canon that he's like mentally deficient?
There's a McDonald's cannon?
Yeah, that they fire cheeseburgers out of.
Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah, it's canon that Chuck is mentally deficient, right? No, it's like Grimace, the mascot for McDonald's, is like canon that he's actually like actually disabled.
Oh
Am I just making that up?
No idea.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
You guys aren't up to
new
date
to me.
on the McDonald's like lore.
I don't know the lore behind that most disturbing.
Sorry,
Wow.
the mix lore, if you will.
Yeah.
The lore? That's great.
I definitely did have in the early 2000s, McDonald's went through like a really weird McBranding where they were like, let's make
Everything was Mick?
Ronald McDonald like just even weirder looking. And they released all these videotapes that my friend Gage Kane Wissing had the entire VHS set of McDonald's Adventures.
Oh, that's right. That was absolutely a thing. Yeah. It was a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had his own show.
The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, released in 1998. It's like kind of like if All Real Monsters and Ronald McDonald had a baby in a
Not-
McDonald's bathroom.
Not
Holy
in
shit.
a McDonald's bathroom.
That is so disturbing.
That's excellent.
90% of Google users like that TV show, so
Like,
can you say that
ironically,
our stream right now is as popular with 90% of Google viewers?
I honestly can't say that.
Nope.
McDonald's one-ups me again.
Those rat fucks.
And for the last time.
All right, guys, this is
Cito.
when we finally beat up McDonald. I'm sorry. I totally came in and fucking barged this conversation. I'm sorry. I'm being rude.
Yeah, we've been talking about McDonald's now for like 6 minutes, haven't we? No, that's
Yes.
okay. But
We've lost 90% of our viewers.
But did we gain McDonald's as a sponsor?
So
You know?
Me calling them
waiting on
rat
the email.
fucks. Did that help?
that's actually a really good time to put in our ad roll. So we'd like to actually thank McDonald's for being our first sponsor.
Nice.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. We're not.
Not sponsored.
Why did they give me all that money?
Why did that
Well,
man? Why
That
did
was
that
for
man
last
cloud
Saturday
makeup?
night.
Why did that man
man
in cloud makeup give me all that money?
Are you trying to get Autumn sued? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what the man gave me the money for. He said, "Make sure
Not
he
sponsored.
pays."
Not sponsored.
You sure it was
Sponsored,
money? It
not
wasn't just like a bag of McChickens or something?
It looked kind of like money.
Hey,
Maybe it was
Autumn,
receipts.
can you not-
Maybe it
can
was
you
a
not be
bag of
sponsored on
receipts.
stream or something?
What?
Can you not be sponsored on a stream or something?
You can't
like that?
say that you're sponsored by
Yeah,
something if
you
you're
can't.
not.
You can't.
Oh,
you can't
gotcha.
be ironic and sarcastic about being sponsored by something.
God,
I mean,
streaming
you
has so
you
many
can, but
loopholes.
you have to say that you're not.
That's so fucking crazy.
That was
Like,
a joke.
That puts such a goddamn premium on being sponsored, where it's like, oh, companies are doing you a gift by sponsoring you.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. it's deadass. It's like mutually beneficial. Like it's not like a fucking gift that a company
that-
is like.
It depends. We are a mature stream, so McDonald's doesn't want to put ads and sponsor mature streams. That's the whole point of
Good.
mature streams.
Listen,
so-
I am 1 1/4.
What about
and
what
I'm
about
twice-
Immature?
immature streams?
We're just guaranteeing that Autumn's
You're
not
the
going to get a
best.
sponsor for a long, long time.
That's all right. I'll just delete this VOD.
Aw. I'll just upload it, and then
Yeah.
I'll just like I'll have you host it. How about that?
Okay.
As soon as Cito's back, I think we can jump back in and wrap up this session.
I want to ask him a quick question about his character.
Short.
Uh-huh.
Is that bullying? Am I being a bully?
No, it's just hazing. I mean, you're allowed to haze the players, right?
That is not an offense.
I think I called Varys vas deference once.
Okay. So are we back now? I'm gonna turn
Andrew,
off this music that I've been playing through the entire thing.
does your character have tool expertise
I
in your features and traits?
think she does.
I think she might,
Yeah.
just as being an artificer. So
Tool proficiency, not expertise. Oh, there it is. Tool expertise.
yeah, so I don't know if you did this on your roll last time, but you can double your proficiency when you're using like Tinker's tools or any of your
Ah.
tools that you are proficient in.
And
Which
like,
I,
I-
like a 38.
Well, it would have added 4 to your.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'll remember that for next
Would
time.
have made it a 32, but just for next time, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean 28 is still pretty high. It's a decent roll.
Yeah, it's all right.
So the crew of you now, after resting for a short time, and mark off a short rest if you used any of your abilities
Oh yeah.
that require a short rest to recharge.
Oh, I should roll hit die also, by the way.
Yeah, I should at least roll a hit die or two.
Sorry.
I already did.
I absolutely spaced on it. So
Wait, Autumn, can I wear this Star Wars hoodie if it's branded? Is that all right?
shut up.
We are
Andrew,
not
maybe you need to
sponsored
get
by
rid of that
Star Wars.
Bethesda t-shirt.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to let you get away with the fact that you butchered Bethesda on your first try, though.
Listen,
What are the best,
I am 1 and a half beers in.
Oh man, okay? Fuck it. We'll talk about all the streaming stuff after you guys.
Yeah. After we've completed the
Yeah.
stream and we finished our session.
So you guys are now there are small dust devils of this black grit now that are spinning around you guys, sort of creating a hazy sort of dusty atmosphere that makes it hard to see a great distance. Now that you're close enough to the spire, this huge constructed tower. It's dark as if nighttime, though you can still see the sun shining through parts in the clouds when there is one. As it breaks open, you can see a shaft of sunlight that almost laser beams across the ground and then is swallowed up again by the cloud cover overhead. It's still very much midday, but this artificial cloud cover being created by this tower has created a storm-like atmosphere. And you can even feel the electricity in the air around you as the hairs on your arms rise with each lightning strike. There's a rise and then a dissipation as it strikes the top of the building. Some of these tall spires rising up off the building, and it almost seems like each time it's struck, the glow within the building enhances and then slowly fades back again.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's weird. All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, at least it's hitting the building and not us, so.
Well, what do you all make of this place? Do we see any signs of life moving? Are there windows in this building? Can we
make a perception check?
Seems like you're pretty standard cultist hideout.
That is a natural 1.
Seems like you're pretty standard cultist hideout.
Yeah, it looks pretty normal to me. What do you guys? I mean, all the ones I've been in before kind of look like this. So,
I mean, there's no giant trees around this one, so this looks way different than all the other standard cultist hideouts I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Well, should we scope it out? Maybe Char, you would like to go first and see what is what in there.
Yeah, you're the one that wanted to come out here.
I didn't know this was what we were gonna find.
I look at Quinn like that was a little heavy-handed.
Yeah. The most expendable out of all of us here.
I
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
don't have to if you're a scout.
how far are we from this thing?
600 feet.
Oh, okay.
From the entrance, basically there are, from where you can see, it rises out of a series of jagged peaks that are low, almost like if you've ever seen those limestone spires that have been sort of weathered down to points, and they almost look like fingers rising up out of the ground. They're pretty famous photographs that I can show you guys at some point, but basically there are these weather-worn spires all around it that then form into rocky outcroppings. You're about 600 feet to that, and you can see, not everybody here is able to see this distance, that there is a pathway, almost like a valley, in through these finger-like spires that are likely the way in, or at least one of the many ways in through the valley.
Okay, I'm gonna hood up and kind of stealth in and see what I can see.
Okay. You want to start moving ahead of the party?
Yeah, I'll scout it out.
Okay. So how far ahead of the party do you want to move? And we'll get a marching order going. It's going to start with Quinn.
Yeah, I'd maybe. Do any of you have the whole mind talkie trick thing? Can any of you message? Do you have a sending stone? Anything?
Well, I have a device that can speak to other people, but not a mind control.
Okay, Evie, is it? If I get ahead of you, I can scout things out. Is there any way that you and I can communicate?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, take this, and I'll pull out a little metal thing, and I'll just like stick it in his ear without asking.
1 point of piercing damage.
So deep.
Get it in there. Okay, it's got to be tight, or it might fall out. Now listen. This is how it works. Actually, I don't have time to explain how it works, but
Okay.
I will when I see you out there, I will message you, and we will see what is what. Okay?
Can I message you?
I don't know technically. Let me hold, please. Let me just make sure.
You see her pulling out like reams of notes from her bag and going through. It's like just pulling out masses of notes with like scrawlings on them.
Listen, I made this a long time ago, and I cannot. I rarely use it because I usually travel alone, and I don't need to talk to people. So I don't believe that you can send me a message, but I will send you one, and then it will allow you to reply. Okay? So I'll wait about.
Okay.
How long would it take him to get 120 feet away?
Not long if you're moving pretty quick.
I'm gonna go 60 feet.
Okay.
Evie, I'll go about 60 feet out.
When you stop, I will message you and see what you see. Or
Okay.
hear what you see.
All
I'll
right.
message you.
All right.
I mean, you're still in sight, right? As you go, it's not like you're rounding.
Well, but it's dark, so
It's dark,
Oh,
and
right. That's true. Yeah.
when he puts his hood up, he almost seems to become out of focus around the edges, and edge detection becomes a problem. And after he moves about 50 feet away, you have to really look to find him. And if you squint, you can pick him out in the landscape. When there's a lightning strike, he becomes pretty obvious where he is. But as soon as that lightning fades again, you can't see him. You get about 60 feet away, and you assume at this point, Evie, that he's 60 feet because it's been a little bit.
Could I possibly see him with my dark vision goggles
Um,
on, or is he too stealthy?
Well, you're not stealthing yet, are you, Quinn? Or are you?
Yeah. I wanted to. That's what hood up is.
Okay.
Stealth. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your stealth check, and then
That's what it means, Small.
and then roll a perception check with your goggles on.
9.
29.
Okay, I definitely see him. He's at 60 feet exactly at this moment, and I will attempt to message him.
What's the range on message?
120.
You're stepping out there, and then you hear something in your ear, and it's coming through from Evie.
I whisper, but the volume would probably be way too high on his receiving end. Quinn!
Gosh.
What do you see? Is there anything dangerous that we need to be concerned about? And is there a way in?
19 perception.
Was that your passive?
Or is it investigation?
No, you can make a perception check because you're actually 90 feet, 90 feet out. You got a little further than she was expecting.
Perception then is a dirty 20.
From this distance, you're still a pretty good distance away. You don't see anything in particular yet. You're still 510 feet away. You can see a dull glow sort of coming from the low canyons. And it seems to be corresponding with the glow coming from the tower itself when it's struck by lightning. But at this far away, you can't quite see if there were small figures moving around the area or if there's any sort of patrols. You're still a little too far away with the dust that's being kicked up from the winds that are blowing through this area.
Okay, so far it's clear. You guys can move forward. I'm gonna keep moving forward too.
So basically,
just motion to everybody to start moving forward.
So the way that you're going to do this is you're going to be about 100 feet ahead, right?
Okay.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
And then did you want to be messaging him?
Just like every so often that we've traveled forward 100 feet, we assume we're moving about the same pace as him once we move. And so roughly about the time that it takes us to get, incrementally closer, I'll message him in those intervals.
Okay. So keep in mind, you can't see him, so you're kind of guessing. Like,
I am guessing.
That you guys are moving at the same pace and trying to move. So make a raw intelligence check, because you have to do some math in your head.
You want me to do this?
For Evie, Quinn.
23.
You get the sense that you guys are actually a little behind, so you need to pick up the pace. So that way he doesn't move out of your range. You think he would gradually move out of your range where you to keep the pace you have, and so you get everybody to move a little quicker to keep up with him.
Let's go. Pick up the pace.
Each time you message him every 100 feet. Now let's get the rest of the order, because it's going to be Quinn who's 100 feet ahead, and who's taking next. Anybody?
Don't everybody jump at once. Jesus.
Anybody?
All right, I'll go.
Chuck, followed by...
I don't want Char behind me. I will. I'll go
What are these
behind
fruits doing
Char.
in your bag?
I'll go behind Char, wherever she is.
And then Guardian, you're going to take up the rear?
Yeah.
So it goes Chuck, Char...
Always.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna say, always good to have the melee in the rear.
Char, Evie, and then followed up by Guardian as you guys begin charging. Are you guys moving quietly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get a stealth check from Quinn, and then let's get a stealth check from the party. And you guys will be doing group stealth checks while he's doing his own stealth check.
23.
Quiet as a mouse.
11.
11, 8. And what do you have there, Evie?
26.
9 I had.
26. 9 from Chuck. And for you, Guardian?
15.
What is it? 14?
I rolled a natural 20, but it's disadvantage, so.
Oh.
I got a 22 and a 9 as well.
Yikes.
You guys, Evie, you become a little frustrated by the lack of... I mean, they stick out like a sore thumb to you, moving as stealthily as you are. You can hear the of the metal plates of Guardian's body clamping together slightly, even though he's trying his best to just be silent, moving through the area. And even Chuck is having some trouble as the ground is becoming loose again with loose rocks as opposed to sand. And as he steps forward, you hear the and like rocks shatter and break as this delicate shale cascades down the side of this rock outcropping that you guys are walking on. Not stealthy so far, but you still got plenty of time to really hone it in. Let's make the next check. You guys are another 100 feet closer.
Do I need to explain to you all how stealth works?
Fuck.
27.
27.
20, not natural.
16.
Okay.
I got a nat 20 and a 13.
Yikes.
17.
Okay. Still overall success from the party of 4 in the back. As what was yours, Guardian?
16.
16. At some point, Guardian has to grab Chuck's shoulder and keep him from slipping down this rock embankment, as there's no grip on the bottom of your cowboy boots as they just start to slip and scrabble across the surface of this shale that has become so brittle that it breaks at the lightest touch. You're starting to get the sense that maybe you need to really watch your footing going forward, as the shale is getting more and more delicate the closer you get to these canyons. We'll make the next check. As for you, Quinn, you are just picking through, moving, seeing where the shale has become the most sensitive and delicate, moving around, pushing down into some of the sandier areas. You drop down into a canyon and are just kind of running your hands along the inside of this scoured, sandblasted, darkened rock that begins to lead into the canyons.
Are there any indications of enemies or anything untoward?
Are you looking for tracks, or are you just looking ahead to see if there's anything ahead of you? Or like looking
I'm
for
doing
signs of
general signs check, like survival check to see.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check.
Wait. 13. Not my best survival check.
You do see tracks, but you can't determine what they are or which direction they're coming from. They look like they attempted to cover them.
Do you see any path on your way out there that would be quieter for us to follow you in?
I just dropped down into a canyon. It's there's less shale here, but there are some tracks of something. It looks like they might have covered them up, so they're pretty obfuscated.
Okay, so no.
I'm in a canyon. It's less quiet, but there's tracks here.
I'm not deaf. I was just looking to see if there was a path for us to take that might be a little quieter, but...
Make a perception check.
20, not natural.
You do see, it'll take you about 50 feet out of your way, but you do see to the north of you, to the west of you, because you guys are heading north. You do see that the shale drops off into a sandy patch that leads into canyons. So you may have outpaced Quinn a little bit to the moving east by accident, and can double back and move into the quieter area if you feel like it would help. Otherwise, you can continue forward basically at the same pace.
I'll stop everybody and start moving in that direction.
Should I roll for intelligence to see if I understand?
You get the gist. You get the gist. You guys scramble down the shale. It makes all kinds of shattering rock noises on your way down, but as soon as you hit the sand, it's softened, and you can now move a little more quietly. Go ahead.
The shale is like a somewhat similar consistency to what the magma monsters turned into as they broke, right?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Pretty good at those. 11.
From what you can tell, they're pretty much the same.
I'm gonna see what happens. I just want to cast Speak with Dead real quick on the ground.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Anything happen?
Go right ahead.
You get like is there like an intelligence requirement to speak with dead? Like, does it have to be a humanoid, or does it have to be a of a certain intelligence or anything for you to be able to communicate with it?
No,
It's
you grant the
above
semblance
4,
of
right?
life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range.
Okay. There are no corpses. I think that qualify in your range.
Done. Sorry.
There's like
Sorry.
some. There's like a. You can look, and curl up in an alcove. You can see the bleached white bones of a snake. That looks like it had crawled in there to escape the heat, and you attempt to speak to it, but you guys don't share a language, so.
Okay.
Moving forward, down now into the soft sand, and you, Quinn, now being a little further ahead, go ahead and make your next checks to move further.
$28.
All right, what do you got, Chuck?
Oh, sorry. Stealth.
Evie?
21.
Guardian?
19.
Char?
22.
And what do you got, Chuck?
17.
17. Much easier now that you're moving in the soft sand. You keep pushing forward now, moving directly north, staying away from the shale. You can't quite make out where Quinn is, but you trust you're moving in the right direction. Quinn, make a perception check. You're now well inside the canyon.
19.
The wind whistling through here obscures a lot of what you should be able to hear, but your ears are sensitive. And you begin to pick up the sound of somebody trying to move stealthily. Clinking of metal, the sloshing of liquid inside a metal canister. And you hear more than one moving through the darkness. But you can't quite place where they are yet.
Quinn, anything else?
Did you guys move? Because I hear something. It sounds like you guys are you in the canyon?
We are. We had to backtrack a bit, but we are now moving down into the canyon. Do we see any of those tracks that he saw earlier from this direction?
Make a survival check.
I'll assist.
Ooh.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Never mind.
Take that.
As a
Two natural
ranger,
20s.
as a ranger, do you
22.
leave tracks? Like,
I mean,
you have to actively obscure them, right? You don't just like move through. I thought it might be like a ranger feature that you don't actively. You can't be tracked. If you don't.
Not
want
that
to.
type of ranger.
Okay.
No.
no, I for me, my personal assumption is that if somebody is moving stealthily, they are also
Okay. Go
or
on.
that case,
Uh-oh.
They are also tongue-tied.
they're also trying to make sure that they don't get found out, but that's entirely up to you. Like that's for me part of being stealth.
Okay. Is that a foghorn?
Excuse me.
Shards?
I had
I'll look into-
Paquito Mouse last night.
That's what it was.
I'll look into it after the session, but from my thinking, you're moving stealthily as to not be heard or seen. But as far as tracks, you'd probably still be leaving tracks. Though with your knowledge and expertise, there'd probably be a higher DC involved to try to find your tracks as opposed to finding somebody else.
Yeah.
Because the crew that moved through here before, what you saw, they were actively trying to remove their tracks. With that natural 20, by the way, you see multiple sets of tracks. It looks like they tried to be obscured, but it seems to you a bunch of sets of smaller boots, a set of larger boots, and then a set of medium-sized boots that you recognize as being Quinn's moving through this area. And then it looks like the The small set and the large sets had been brushed over with something, and then the very light medium set had passed right over top, almost leaving no trace as they were stepped inside some of the larger footprints that had moved ahead.
Are the smaller set like that of a smaller humanoid or creature, like a dwarf or a goblin or something, like that kind of a smaller creature?
You would make that assumption. It's probably it's of the smaller folk. So it could be a goblin, could be gnome, could be halfling.
Right.
Depending.
And then large boots, meaning like a...
Large boots meaning a creature on the higher end of a medium creature. Like large,
Okay.
big.
But not a large creature.
Not necessarily, but just large tracks.
Okay. And could I discern how many sets of tracks there were from all of this, or no?
They're too clustered together, and they stomp over themselves too much to get a good sense of exactly how many. But you know that there's definitely more than one of the small feet sets. It looks like there's only one of the larger set of tracks.
Fair enough. Quinn, we found the tracks, and we are following them, and we see that you are going in the same direction. So we are going very quietly though. So just know we are coming up. Okay, don't shoot.
Okay, guys, make your last round of stealth checks to continue moving through.
Oh my god, I got another natural 20.
Damn, girl.
Having a good day.
I got one too, but I have disadvantage, so 11.
Why do you have disadvantage?
The armor that I'm wearing, I'm an idiot. I really should just switch it next time we're in town. It's the same amount as any medium armor, except this one specifically has disadvantage on stealth.
It's splint mail or something, right?
It's like it was that custom armor in that one shop that had magic items for everybody except for me, and then could only make that armor.
Pens. Clanging
The
around.
scale mail.
You make it sound like I specifically well, all we got left is this armorlet with bells on it. You want it?
I mean, is that what happened? I'm not saying that. I am saying literally everybody at the party was like, "Hey, can I have this magic item?" And it was like, "Yep, sure." And then when I got up, they were like, "Ooh, nothing."
We already made all the magic armor stuff we can make. Sorry, man.
30 for me.
Okay.
Jeez.
And what's the group got? Let's go start with I already got from Chuck and from Evie. What's Guardian got? 9. And what do you got there, Char?
23.
23. You continue moving, and this time there's no real disguising the sound of the clinking metal of your heavily armored companions. As you continue moving through, you're getting closer.
Something, it is Guardian.
Quinn, you begin to hear the group behind you, and then ahead of you, you hear.
I speak Goblin. Is that Goblin?
It is. It's. Shh. We're being followed. But wait, is it the reinforcements? There's no reinforcements. It's just us.
Okay. I can't do anything right now, but I mean,
Do you continue forward?
I keep quiet and I move more slowly and more try to make sure that I stay out of range of them.
Okay.
Moving slow enough so that the rest of the crew can catch up. Yeah.
You're moving fairly within pretty narrow passageways. Go ahead and make another stealth check as you continue moving forward, okay? That was the next, 100 feet or so.
30 again.
You turn the corner, move through, and in the darkness, as you shift along the wall, almost becoming completely imperceptible, moving with deftness as you begin to move further away from them, is a crew of 4 goblins. The one in front looks like he has an old flintlock rifle that's been repaired probably more than 10 times. Directly behind him is a goblin with low goggles and a big pack on his back that connects to a hose in his hands. And then the last two behind him are of similar of similar make. They've got tanks on their backs. They've got these almost gun-like instruments in their hands, and they're connected to their backs with tubing. The one in the front appears to be the leader, and he's looking around the corner and just completely doesn't even see you.
Back
Towards them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as a heads up, I got to bounce at 3.
Actually, we're going to wrap it up here in about 2 minutes. So
Excellent.
Before 3.
2 minutes before 3.
Okay, so, what were these guys called? God.
Can I use a history check to see if I can recall what the tribe was called?
Go ahead.
Great at these. 16.
16. Sootmouth clan. Although what you remember from a 16, what you remember about the Sootmouth clan is that they always had black smears across their mouths and black teeth from eating black powder.
Yeah.
And these ones don't have the smears across their mouths, which is usually very indicative of the Sootmouth clan. So these don't have that. So whether they're just a kind that doesn't eat it or what, but that was the one constant across all of the Sootmouth clan.
Can I gauge how far behind me the rest of the party is?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, great. 14.
You can't really get a good read on exactly where they are. You know that they said they'd been waylaid a little bit because they had to move. They had to jaunt to the side. So anywhere between 50 and 100 feet behind you.
Okay. In Goblin, I whisper, basically saying, we're not here to fight you. We might be here for the same thing.
All 4 of them tense, and they all turn to you, and you just see like the tension in their bodies, reflective goggles on their heads. And that's what we'll pick up next week. Awesome.
Quinn
Yeah, some
was the
goblin-
monster all along.
Some goblin cronies going into the stronghold. Oh my god. Hey, that was a good session, guys. Holy shit. Well done, y'all. Good job.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Great session, Sito. Thanks for joining us, man. That was a blast.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah,
This was
hell
fun.
yeah.
Give me 1 second. One
Yeah,
second.
of course. Oh, he muted us. How could he?
We should. Oh man, I was gonna just.
Unbelievable.
Thanks for all our sponsors.
Thank you, McDonald's.
Thank you, McDonald's,
We owe everything to you.
definitely sponsoring.
Yeah, quick shouts out McDonald's.
Nike,
McDonald's
thank
for
you.
being
Elgato.
sponsors.
Blue Yeti.
Did
Hey.
he actually mute all of us?
I don't think he muted us. I think he muted himself from us. I'm sure you can still hear us, and it's really annoying.
Hey, what the
I
fuck?
actually
referring
did.
to
I
lid
forgot
as
to mute you guys, so all of that went out underneath where I'm like, it's like blah blah blah, McDonald's, blah blah blah.
Get sued.
Autumn, did you say
Nailed it.
thank you, Meg, for subscribing to Lid?
I said thank you, Megalodon.
Oh,
What the
okay.
person?
I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with
I'm not
you.
gonna call her by her first name
It's totally
in
fine.
chat.
I'm fucking with you.
That's not how I roll.
I'm
how I
fucking
roll.
with you. It's
You'll
fine.
notice I call you Samurai when you come into the
That's fair.
chat.
I call people only by their social security numbers. That's it.
Oh.
You are
I like
just a
that.
statistic
The whole
to
name?
me. Yeah.
Except Autumn, you called me by my name.
Oh,
I did?
yikes.
Oh.
Oh, yikes.
It is in the chat.
Well, that's our
that.
time. That's our time,
Oh,
folks. We gotta
oh,
You'll be hearing from my lawyers. It's fine.
go.
uh-oh.
You'll be hearing from
Well,
my
I mean, the
lawyer-
people
my
that are
McDonald's
playing I
lawyers.
call by their names because, they're playing.
Uh-huh. Doesn't check out.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Performance check.
Roll for deception.
Hey, I think that went really well.
I think
We
so,
had
too.
we had 11 viewers at one point, so
Nice.
which is, I mean, honestly, that's pretty fucking good for a D&D stream.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Well, wait.
Stop streaming.
6 of them were us, wasn't it? So that's
Bye,
like.
everybody.
Yeah.